Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jen, and this is Many a True Nerd.
No. That's enough of that. No
like
more.
her better.
No, go away. No, she's not. Get out. Go.
But
You're
I
banned
like
from this house
her.
forever. Get
Hey,
out.
no,
Don't
you
go
can't
back.
do that.
Leave Tabby where she is. No. Put her back. Put her back.
You can't have Tabby.
Okay. Right. Well, that's enough of that. Whew. Dodged a bullet on that one. Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John. This is Many a True. Yes, Claire's here as well. Claire's here. Right, this is Many a True Nerd. This is throwing me right off my game now. This is throwing me right off my game. Okay, fine. I'll put the sculpture to Beelzebub behind the microphone if it makes you happy. Bloody hell.
Beelzebub happy?
Fine, if it stops the demonic possession. Right, well maybe it'll get Jen out of here. Bloody Jen. Bloody hell. Right, hello everybody. Claire, shuffle in. Shuffle in, or people will say you sound quiet again. Right, there we go. Hello. Hello everybody. This is going to be a weird stream. I've figured out in advance this is just going to be a weird stream. So, this is Rome Total War. Hello. Let's get straight back into this. Let's get straight back into some lovely Rome gameplay. And some lovely Rome music, and some lovely continuing of the campaign. All of that would be good stuff right there. Hang on, turn my own volume down a little bit. That's good. Actually, I might turn up a little bit. I noticed that last time, the VOD was really quiet. Like, I had it set too quiet, I think. So I'm gonna slightly up the volume, because I think I said it too quiet last time. So hopefully this will be a little bit less extreme on the quiet side. Ah, marvellous. Marvellous. So this is us. Remember, last time we actually decided to invade southern Italy, and we did that.
That's not my fault, that's your stuff.
Claire's just throwing things around. Claire's just throwing around my possessions. We invaded southern Italy, and we managed to get ourselves a little footer. In fact, actually, we eliminated the Brutii, which means today I would like to achieve one thing in particular. There's this city here, it's called Rome. It's moderately important, it's in the title of the game. So I wouldn't mind having that of these Roman guys who for some reason seem to believe that they have some sort of superior claim to it. And Claire's laughing. What's going on, Claire?
I think Jen's your sister.
Oh, that's a theory I haven't heard for a while. There's a working theory we get on occasion. Some people believe for a long period of time that you were my sister. That was a good theory as well. Go away! We told you to go! Get out!
Oh my god.
There we go.
Okay, I just want to make one thing very, very clear to everybody here.
Is it the
Hashtag Cult of Jen.
Cult of Jan.
Hashtag
Cult of Jan. Cult of Jan.
Okay, why are you doing that? She's your nemesis.
Uh-huh.
Hashtag,
or is she?
Hashtag Cult of Jen works in collaboration with the Cult of Claire. Right? Cult of Jen believes in the tenets of Tabby.
You think you'd like to think that, wouldn't you? You'd like to think that.
Tabby purred for Jen. So.
I think the tenets of Nimbus, or the Necronomicon of Nimbus, is much more what they believe in. Actually.
The Chronicles of Cordelia was the other
Chronicles
one
of Cordelia. That's true. That's true. This is all probably very confusing to most of you. Right, let's dive into some stuff here, because actually it looks like I've done everything I pretty much can this turn. I've already spent all of my money, so it's mainly just a case of
hashtag we want Jen.
Hashtag we want Jen. Oh dear. Excellent. Maybe we'll have Jen back one day. I don't know. Oh yeah, Snowpay was under the effect of plague. Not much I can really do about that, to be honest, aside from just not moving agents around. But there shouldn't be any agents nearby here. Oh yeah, I need to deal with the bloody Scythians. Wait, how many battering rams have you built? None so far. Best we probably just play defensively here. We'll simply move you up to here, and we'll just get you in position to help out. That's going to be an interesting battle. Luckily, they can't move in this turn. They've not got any battering rams, so we'll simply move those guys round here next turn, and that'll be fine. But there's gonna be a couple of fun battles this part. We've got ourselves, we got ourselves the defense up here against the Scythians. Flipping again, that's never fun to do. And we've got ourselves potentially, securing our foothold on Italy by taking control of the sea, by taking Capua, and then making a move against Rome itself. Now, actually, one thing I do need to do is, well, one, I actually need to retrain the fleets, because my fleets have taken quite a battering, actually. Are you guys okay? You guys get over here. Please tell me you can... Yes, okay, fine. So we've got that annoying pirate fleet out the way. We've just got to get our fleets moving in this direction. Because right now, most of our fleets are over between Greece and Asia Minor. So what we really need to do is get some fleets moving from this direction over towards Scipiona's territory. Because if we can knock out their fleets, and also cripple their economy at the same time, if we can just knock out their fleets as the main priority, then their armies can't get back to Sicily and can't get back to Capua. So if I can basically just take control of the seas, that would be very, very useful. So let's actually start doing that right now. Let's just start knackering all these fleets. Get round here. This is all absolutely fine. Plus it gets me a little bit of extra bonus visibility. These... Oh! Speak of the devil. There's a massive army. Right. Keep an eye on this fleet. And now no matter where it moves, I'll be able to follow it by just following the arrow of that ship next time. So that is... that's worth having a think about. That's worth having a think about. Right. Let's drop a quick save just in case the game crashes, because it's been a bit crash happy. I don't know if I've like something weird's happening, something like that. Oh yeah, I need to keep an eye on the Thracians too. The Thracians are attacking the Dacians, which works for me because that keeps the Thracians busy for the time being. So hopefully they won't be stupid enough to attack me. Let's see what goes on. Well, in comes that attack. So yeah, they're probably going to win because they're unfortunately actually triremes, so they've been driven back straight away. Right. So the full army is actually hanging out near Thapsus. Nowhere else. And Carthage is at severe risk of... We might be able to win that one. No, we need to train some new fleets. Like, right now, the Roman fleets around Italy are very, very dominant. And we've also got... No, we're not flipping marrying a 62-year-old drill master into the family.
Ew.
That is not happening. That would be a terrible idea. Looks like these guys... I think they either sallied forth or this army tried to... Yeah, this army totally tried to attack and got absolutely annihilated. So, Porolisium is totally going to completely collapse. In fact, actually, the Thracians, if they wanted to, could probably just wrap up all of Dacia, which could leave Thrace in a really strong position. Which is kind of odd, because they've literally got these 2 cities. But they could do. They could actually do very, very well out of this. Fine, I need to have a little look-see around and figure out where the most sensible places to spend my money is. Claire, you need to... Oh, hang on, did I even have to... That was not the space I wanted to go to. Luckily, they didn't build it... Wait. They've only got 1 unit of infantry. Oh. Well, that changes the mathematics. Because if I can just take out that 1 unit of the 1 ram they'll eventually end up pushing, then that means they physically couldn't... Interesting. Okay. Let's see what we got here. It's a whole bunch of horses. A whole bunch of horses. Not much else. I've got some archers. There's also a handful of archers... you know what? Go on. Let's just fight this battle and see what happens. It's going to be a mess, but it looks like they're actually going to try and starve me out because they don't actually have the infantry to, yeah, try and actually push into this because they literally don't have enough people to push rams. So we'll do it in the open field because my reinforcement army will come from behind me, so we might be able to sandwich them, which might work pretty well. Right, while I'm figuring out how to lay things out, Claire, over to you.
Yes, absolutely. We've got loads of messages already.
I can't imagine why.
Actually...
That's the way. I like it.
I don't know what song you're
That's the way.
I like it.
You just said, aha. That's... never mind. I just wanted you to do that, Claire. If Jen was here, she'd have known what I was talking about.
Of course she
Should
would.
just bring Jen back.
Oh my god.
Just let me know if you'd like me to just basically bring back Jen on a permanent basis. Because I'm thinking yes. I'm just thinking that's a good idea. What I'm going to do, by the way, is as there's so few archers, I'm going to deliberately put them at the front to try and bait horses into them. Because I suspect that will actually work out pretty nicely. Yeah, that could work. Just a handful of horse cavalry at the edge as well. Yeah, that could work pretty nicely. Claire, back to you.
Yeah, shout out to Zycoria, who gave us $25.
Oh, thank you very, very much indeed.
As usual, their message starts with heart your face, which I quite like. Fun fact, I started watching MATN because the Fallout Pacifist runs were mentioned in the commentary of a webcomic that I read.
Interesting.
Alguni Shiv newspaper.
I think someone's flagged that to me before, actually. That rings a bell. I think that might have actually been brought to my attention in the past.
Oh, and the question is there any webcomics that you read?
I used to read Girl Genius Online, but I really fell out of it. I quite like the superhero comic strong female protagonist about Mega Girl. That's quite good. So I read that one. Other than that, not on an absolute regular basis. Those are the only two that, well, I mean, Go Genius Online I used to check like regularly. I'm so far behind now I don't really know how to catch up. So that I'm not sure about. Right, battle is underway. I need to see what they're doing. Are they just going to charge forward? Because sometimes they'll just basically charge their flipping horses straight into spearmen. If there's so many of them, they get a bit on the confused side. You guys need to actually not be on skirmish mode, please. Yeah, just stand and fight. Shoot down the horses. Let's see what happens next. And the answer is... they're vaguely flanking. Let's see if I can just get some spearmen over there. Here we go. Some of these guys might get... oh, no, they're staying at a sensible range. They are staying at a sensible range. Right, let's see if I can just drive them into spears. Because if I can just actually get on top of them, screw it. Go for it. Let's just see if we can get on top of these guys and then just start basically working around them. Some of those guys are starting to break a little bit already. Some of my guys are starting to break too, however. Some of these guys are going straight through here and are hitting the spears behind. So the archers are... oh, that's the Screeching Women. No, sorry, not Screeching Women. The Headhunting Maidens. One of the very, very few female-specific units. And they have been routed and seen off. Looks like it's not going well for any of them so far. These guys are going to do a competent job seeing off these guys. Or if they're not, then no, they're not. Meanwhile, the AI force is actually heading out over here. The chariots have just come in. And for some reason, these guys are refusing to back away. Which is good, because the cavalry is just collapsing. Because if there's one thing... oh, there goes their leader. There goes their leader. He's on the run. Was he actually... I don't think he was actually... no, he was just a captain. So this is what actually chariots are amazing at. They can just basically just get straight involved with cavalry and just shred it. What else is left at this point? Nothing. Actually, these archers have done an amazing job not breaking. So they've really helped out. Fall back a little bit, though. I want you guys to actually... are you pursuing? Oh, well done. It's very ballsy of you. Right. At this point, hopefully the remainder can be cleared out by my AI army, because it looks like there's several units of chariots, and... oh! It's Chariot versus the Headhunting Maidens, and it has gone beautifully well. Oh, that's just gorgeous. That is just absolutely gorgeous, because the chariots actually have the hitting power and the speed. But actually... if you'd asked me, I would have said that chariots either had the same speed or lower speed than light cav and horse archers. But it does seem like they're capable of getting on top of it. Possibly it's just not great AI pathfinding. I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually send you over here. Start working on all this. Actually, no. There is, in fact... the flipping axemen are still there. The one unit of infantry these guys have is finally actually flipping here. So you guys just basically, yeah, just don't actually bother engaging. Just basically shoot them with arrows. It'll be marvellous. In which case, what's left? Because it looks like, actually, we've seen these guys off with fairly few losses, but we're still taking a knock from somewhere. What's firing an... ah, there's something over there. You guys, out of position, just start seeing them off. And if we've got anything left in terms of cav, we don't, to be honest. We've got very little left. You may as well try and see them off if you can. Where are they? They're over here. Get after them. You won't be able to chase them down because it's heavy versus light. But we've got... oh, that is more archers desperately trying to actually chase down. Oh, that's a good charge right there. But they'll hit some spears sooner or later. I mean, yeah, they're concerned over exposed flanks. Their general has left. They're tired. They can't stand up to this for long, even if they have managed to get on top of some mercenary peltas, which is a shame. They're going to get themselves surrounded. Right, that should be, in fact... just about, yep, just about your lot. Lovely. I'm just going to let this battle continue and play out just because yeah, we'll have the opportunity to clear out some survivors at this point. Claire, back to you.
Yes, indeed. We have loads more messages. Urban Cohort gave us $10 and says this is a small bribe for you to sing Hooked on a Feeling.
Oh, I don't know all the words.
Shall I Google the words for you?
Blimey.
No,
I'd need your help for that one. I can't even remember all the I wouldn't even get the tune right. I need your help, Claire.
I would not get the tune right either.
Well, yeah, but you know the tune better than me, I think.
No.
Because I'm just faintly aware of this. I couldn't remember what applied to what. I need help. I need a karaoke backing track or your help.
Oh yeah, I can find you a karaoke backing track.
Wait, which one's hooked up? I don't think that's the one I'm even thinking of. I think I'm thinking of a different song. What's hooked on the... Who's that by?
Blue Sweet, it says on the thing.
That doesn't ring a... That doesn't sound right to... Or rather, it is right,
okay,
but I think I'm thinking of something else. I'm not sure I even know the song. So I think we might have a problem there. We might have to revisit that one down the line.
Are you sure? Because karaoke on Vivo channel has you know, a backing track if you want. Though I'm not sure we can't do it because we can't.
Yeah, we can't just rip off of Vivo's channel's content, Claire.
No, I meant, you know, if you wanted to like have a backing track to sing, then that would be detected by.
Yeah, exactly. We will have to revisit that one. We'll have to revisit that one another time when I've had a chance to listen to the original to make sure I know I actually am singing the song I think I'm supposed to be singing.
Well, the chat is singing it. So.
Excellent. The chat has fulfilled their end of the bargain.
Yeah. Totally. Oh, great.
Oh,
great,
dear.
Great.
That worked pretty nicely. We've still got 2 effective fighting forces and we've pretty much eliminated them. So that's actually gone pretty well. I'm happy with that.
Shout out to Anna, who gave us $10 and said the stream started so late that my shift started before it, so I won't be able to watch until it's well over. Sad face.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that, Anna.
Yeah.
I feel especially sorry for the... I mean, the Australians might have just given up on this occasion.
No, they're there.
They're there, are they?
Hi, Roderick!
Did they just actually... Did they just get up early rather than staying up late on this occasion?
Let us know, guys.
I assume Australia, that's what you decided to do, because that's the only thing that really makes a huge amount of sense. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Right, what was I building in Tarentum again? And did I already go for... No, I wanted to keep the awesome temples they already had there because that seems to be working pretty nicely. Let's just get some good stuff going down over here. Carthage is in trouble. I just need to keep getting the flipping temples up. Keep getting them temples up, damn it. And keep trading troops as far as possible. I can't. I'm actually out of troop capacity. Oh dear. Now this is going to be of interest. Okay, you know, I'm going to get rid of the levy pikemen. Just for the sake of actually clearing out the space, because I can train better stuff in the form of phalanx pikemen right here. That will at least help out a little bit. Oh dear. Oh, there's a lot of Scipiona's troops right here. That's... If they're planning a...
Roderick says he definitely stayed up.
Oh wow. That is impressive. And slightly mad, but impressive.
Well, but at least it's like Sunday morning and not.
Actually, that's true. At least we didn't. At least we didn't try and pull this BS on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That is true. That is at least, you know, one little thing there. Ooh, a Pantheon. Everyone loves a Pantheon. Right, I need to get some new ships in production because we're starting to lose some actual wars of the sea here. We need to clear out these pirates, get them out of the way. Fine. Good. And then we need to start getting these ships into a position where we can actually heal them. So you, getting hit. Apparently there was an army in this boat. Who knew? Right, well, probably the chat. Right, repair. And toss an extra trireme on board. Fine. That's going to be a decent-sized fleet over there. Other than that, we've got a small damaged fleet here. That is a Thracian navy. Don't worry about that. Let's just get this force back over here and get it into Byzantium tomorrow. Byzantium could just do with some little time. Actually, no. Invest in the gold mines. That's plus 200, just standard mines, not... Well, it's gold, but it's not like, you know, tons of gold where it kind of starts stacking, which is always welcome. Okay. We need to get more... You just need to... Okay, you slap down... Apparently you can't. Why can't you slap down a watchtower there? I don't know. Slap down a watchtower here, then. Watchtowers are always useful. Just continue slapping down watchtowers and hope the Dacians don't attack us, because I kind of need them to just leave me alone for the time being. Because I don't actually have an... Actually, I've got elephants. I've got elephants, and this is still just a... This is a stockade. This is a barbarian-style stockade. Marvellous. Luckily, Rome hasn't bothered protecting its own cities. But actually... That's wooden walls, because you can tell because it's brown rather than grey. So, all of these, all 5 cities, do not have actually stone walls. And Rome's only got a basic wall. Should be fairly easy to knock down with onagers. Although, speaking of Rome, Rome is bringing forward... Oh, Rome is bringing all the mercenaries and also piggies. Rome is sending in the bacon. So that's of interest. Also, what did I invade this country with? Probably not much, presumably just enough to seize these cities. Right, in that case, I kind of need to get you... Get out of the way. Go away. You need to... How have you still got... Okay, fine. I guess we'll fight that battle because I'm not losing the amount of men the game would totally tell me I'm supposed to have lost. So you guys just get in here over as well. That will all work out nicely. Claire, back to you.
Yes, in...
A little battle sounds like it'll be a good opportunity for you to catch up because it sounds like you've got a bit to go over.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Rome Madrid who gave us $5. And there wasn't a message, so in case you did want to say something or ask John a question, you can reply me with my name in the comments. And
or if you want to pass Jen a question, do the same and we will pass it on to her.
You're not helping. I do actually have to do this.
Excellent.
Oh, goodness me.
Just message her. She'll get back to you. Oh, no, she won't. She's driving. Okay, don't message Jen right now. Message Jen later.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul Wilson, who gave us $2 and said, all good and true religions are but facets of Tabby. Which is very true.
I thought you went a bit Scottish there for a second. You were saying, oh, go on then.
All good and true religion. Well, Jen and I were discussing whether the Cult of Jen would, support just the tenets of Tabby or other things as well. We were kind of discussing whether it was kind of like Old and New Testaments, or maybe like a monotheist and a polytheistic religion. Because she has 2 cats.
Okay,
we have 1.
That's true, yeah. But our cat is like way better than twice as good as hers.
I'm sorry, what?
But our cat is like way better than twice as good as hers. Our cat's like super awesome. Good.
I mean, our cat is really great, but like he can't. I feel like he can't, in all consciousness, say that her cats are not.
Her cats
great.
are pretty good. Her cats are pretty sweet too. Yes.
Cats are very sweet. Shout out to the Flip Flop Fatality, the Snitz on a username, who gave us $5 and said, "Oh my gosh, I actually made it to a live stream. What? Hashtag best day ever."
Excellent. And
excellent.
Oh my goodness, this Hastati just going to start running up the hill. There's Hastati that's going to run up the hill and they're just going to be torn the hell apart. Anything that tries to go up the hill. Ooh, this is interesting. I'm pretty confident these were Roman-style leaders, but they've actually, because they've become barbarian, of course the bodyguard has shifted over into the alternative style. Also, Illyrian mercenaries are going to try and rush against my chariot. So, good luck, lads. Good luck. Hope that goes well for you. Let's see how well it goes. Didn't go well. One little chariot went down there. Let's just kind of quickly get on top of all of these bastards. See you off. Oh, they're just breaking. Now that they're like barbarians and whatever, they just don't have much in the way of, they don't have the staying power anymore. Get back over to these guys. All these guys are falling apart already. So that just gives my archers more of a big open shot at all the rest of it. Get over to these guys. There's more coming in yet. There's, ooh, Equites. Let's just kind of quickly get on top of them, see if we can just intercept them, and we just can, because we just killed one of them, which pulls them in this direction, which pulls the Equites into the chariot, which basically just completely trashes them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. It was really lucky we just caught one of them on the back corner then, because that just basically pulls him over here, and as a result, the only casualties we're going to take into these chariots right here, and that's just going to basically, at this point, they've only got Heavy Cav left, so their light Cavs have been taken care of. Though, annoyingly, the chariots have gone berserk. Which they do sometimes do, irritatingly. Let's just see if we can wrap up this mission nice and fast now by... I think, actually, if we're lucky, he's just going to send his cav straight through Berserk. He is. He's just sent his flipping general straight through Berserk chariots. So that's pretty good. That works out pretty well for me. Admittedly, I'm sending my normal chariot straight at Berserk chariots too. Oh, this is going to be painful. This is going to be a bit on the painful side, but we'll just have to hope it all works out. In we go. And if we can just trash this guy. And, okay. Yeah, we managed to kill him. And I'm willing to end the battle there, quite frankly, because now everything had gone berserk or whatever. Yeah, handful of chariots lost. Other than that, should be no losses whatsoever. Sorry, I was supposed to be letting you talk during that battle. Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
Right, over to you while I figure out...
It's fine, you've never done that before.
Over to you while I try and figure out how to transport these troops over.
Okay, well, shout out to Alana, who gave us £5 and said, "Claire, I started the Saint Jour series and I love it. I'm thinking about Temeraire next. Those are both book series I will endorse very highly."
Excellent.
But the next part of the question is probably for you.
Okay.
Either of you have a favorite Greek or Roman tragedy?
I really like Hippolytus. But also, I also really like, I like, well, this is kind of a double barrel answer, because I really, this is a difficult one. This is a difficult one, because there's some of them some of them aren't staged well. Like, I love Antigone as a play, but, like, it's always staged badly, because no one, like, it never seems to be got properly by the director, who don't seem to understand, like, what it's supposed to be about and how it's supposed to go, because everyone always thinks Antigone's the good guy and Crayon's the bad guy, and that's not how it goes. They're both equally idiots. And, you know, the fact that obstinate idiocy clash against each other and refuse to compromise is what ultimately causes the tragedy, but whatever, right? So I do love Antigone. I like Philoctetes, even though it's a bit silly. I like the stupid Euripides escape tragedies at the end of his career. I like Iphigenia and Taurus. And I really like Hippolytus, just because Hippolytus himself is such a wonderful, annoying, terrible character. He's great. So I like all of them. They're all good.
Yeah, and also shout out to Livestream regular Delacles. It's her birthday today.
I thought Delacles was a he and Delacles had a mother, or was Delacles a she and she also has a mother? Have I got that wrong?
Well, one of us has got that wrong, Delacles.
I always thought Delacles was male and Delacles' mother was floating around. Delacles is the one with the mother, right?
Yes.
Well,
Delacles is the one with the... Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes, Delacles' mom does watch the channel.
Technically, everybody does have a mother.
Okay.
That's true. Well, I guess technically people who are like cloned in that.
Let's not. Delacles is the one who has a mom who watches the channel.
Yes, that is
for sure.
That's true. Lovely.
Anyway, when the chat catches up with us, yeah, there you go. I was right. Delacles is a lady.
I'm sorry, my mistake. I'm very sorry about that, Delacles.
Anyway, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday to... Is it Delacles or Delacles' mother's birthday?
It's Delacles.
Happy birthday, Delacles.
And she said she had Jaffa cakes earlier and
Woo!
she's having booze from her flip mug.
We might have Jaffa cakes later. We're a bit full at the moment. I'm going to be honest. We're both drunk right now.
We're not drunk. We had one cocktail.
Yeah, but we're both lightweights.
That is true.
I feel merry. Right now,
I feel merry, but it's just from seeing you.
Which is why the live stream probably began in a slightly surreal fashion, because I'm feeling a little bit merry at the minute. That's my excuse. That's what we're sticking to. Because we went out, we had drinks, we had good food with Jen, so everything is good. Everything is good. Back to you, Claire, while I figure out where to train some boats.
Yeah, shout out to Send Me a Badger. Gave us $25 and said, John, when you fail to secure your flanks and overextend from your cities, your live stream gets invaded and your felines pillaged.
Oh, don't pillage my felines.
You shouldn't be making these mistakes after this many hours of total war. I am disappointed. Huge smiley face.
Excellent.
Delacles says her mom is laughing her ass off. So there you go. You've done a good.
Yay, good. I am happy. That's my good deed for the day.
Yeah. Anyway, Roberto says John drunk is the same as my gran drunk. Who knew?
Excellent. I approve of your gran. Oh dear, we must be ready for it. Oh yeah, of course we had some troops coming up here. We've totally got some troops almost ready to start being shipped over. But no boat to actually ship them, by the looks of things. Right, Tarsus, that one's up to you. Let's just get a trireme going on here. Because, these guys need to be retrained. That's what we need to do. Okay, so, let's get some troops out here. We got ourselves some archers, chariots, and 3 separate war elephants. Ready to flip and go here. Alright, that's pretty good. And then we've got, after that, we've got, more elephants, Silver Shield Legionaries, and good quality troops also right here, ready to go. So that's all pretty damn hot. Oh, there's so many elephants in this army. Claire, there's 5 separate units of elephants, and they've got upgraded weapons and experience and all sorts. It's going to be lovely. And I've got to send these guys over here to retrain them. Hopefully I can afford this. That's 152 a go, so yes, I can just afford all of that, which is marvellous. And also I'll toss in 1 extra archer as well. And then this boat also needs to pick up these generals, so that's... There's still how many slots left in the army? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. And then, okay, I might need to leave, like... I might have to leave 2 of the basic elephants behind and just send the 3 sets of war elephants, and the 2 elephants will follow, so I've got enough actual Silver Shield pikemen heading up. Because this is going to be the big force that can basically just snipe any Julii counterattack. So that will be good. Because we've got some moderately competent stuff coming out of here, coming out of Athens and Corinth and whatever. But it's not really like high-tech stuff. It's experienced and armoured low-tech stuff, or rather mid-tech stuff, given there's phalanx, pikemen and bowmen in there. But it'll do. It'll do for the time being. And we've got this force here coming over towards Tarentum. So we should be able to defend Tarentum. I can't do anything but build flippant. Oh dear. I should get some actual good quality troops back to Tarentum right now, just in case the Julii get some stupid ideas. Just in case. And Carthage is trading as fast as it can. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. And once again, I've spent all the money. Like, I'm only getting 24,000 denarii per turn at the minute, and it's not quite enough. Like, I'm training as fast as I can, but I've got a lot of armies on the go right now, though I should actually just keep them moving, because I've got this guy here I keep forgetting to move, so we need to just keep moving this direction, because that's a decent army right there. So this army needs to go in that direction too. Other than that, I need to leave a decent force guarding Byzantium and Bylazora, just to make sure the Thracians don't get stupid ideas. Hopefully they won't. And after that, yeah, there's an okay force of backup at Thessalonica, which is, again, yeah, that's manageable. Though, actually, what I might do is I might just swap out this unit of... Actually, can I give this guy some... Yeah, there we go. That guy did indeed just actually recover, so I managed to transfer all of the experience and armor and good stuff onto that. It's a little bit inconsistent. I'm sure there is like a mathematical rule for when you can and can't do that, but I've never been sure what that rule actually is. I generally just kind of, you know, finger in the air it and hope, which I'm sure is fine and scientific and lovely. That's probably what I can do this turn. Let's see what the response from the Julii is going to be, especially keeping an eye on this army up here. So... Oh, I was speaking to this guy again. I can't afford to bribe you with 100. We'll speak to you later. Scipiones, just shipping around. They're not going to be able to win that fight, though. They are going to be able to win that fight. Apparently they're not. Well, that's marvellous. Oh, there's now 3 large armies. Though actually they're not marching at me. I think they're trying to flipping take out the Numidians. And in comes the assault on Tarentum. Fine. That was to be expected, but we do have a counterattack ready to go. And more coming in. Our fleet's just being shredded. I need to get proper reinforcements in terms of the navy. Until I take control of the seas, I'm going to struggle. And that was just a rebel fleet as well. There's more rioting in Carthage. 1,500 odd people have been killed. Good. That will actually make Carthage easier to control. No, we're not marrying people that old. And yeah, Carthage has actually gone down to blue. We've lost a handful of troops, but I should be able to merge them back to... In fact, yeah, why don't I just quickly merge them? Claire, back to you for a moment.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Thomas Richter, who gave us 10 Brazilian reals, and said, "Hi, Claire and John/Jen." John and Jen are not the same person.
John and Jen are totally the same person. It was just me doing an accent. I hope everyone got that, by the way. Like, you know, that was the joke. I hope everyone understood that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, hi Claire, John and Jen. Last week I was barely holding on to the stream. I was sick and listening the whole time. Today I'm feeling much better and I can even look at the screen without a headache. Yay!
Oh, good for you.
Yes, good for you. We did notice that you weren't there last week because someone asked us about
We do notice when the regulars are away.
Yeah. Because Thomas Richter made a mod, like, what was the mod that he made with the Minute Men, right?
Yes, the Minute Men, yes.
And someone asked if you'd done that, which, no, because neither of us are good enough to make mods.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I'm good enough to install them most of the time after I read the instructions.
Yeah. Well, shout out.
That's about the limit right there.
Anyway, shout out to Thomas for making that. That was cool.
That was very cool.
And shout out to Cool Man Fight, who gave us 200 Danish kroner and said, "I have fruit for dinner tonight. John and Claire, what did you two have for dinner tonight? And also, this is Aarhus, which I looked up and is a town, in... What? I had it. It's a town in Denmark, and it's apparently something that's commonly touted as the happiest city in the world.
Ah,
so there you go.
It doesn't surprise me. It's in a Scandinavian country, the happiest town in the world. Like that's famously a happy place. So I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, and so we don't have anything. We don't have anything for dinner because we just went and had a really early dinner.
We had a nice. We had kind of a brunch and an early dinner thing.
Yeah, that was a quite nice.
I had a burger. You had a mac and cheese, but like fancy burger and fancy mac and cheese.
I had a mac and cheese and then some apple pie.
Yeah.
With an espresso martini.
Oh yeah.
That was
good stuff.
So good.
Good stuff. Good stuff right there.
Oh, that was very good.
But we're very full at this point afterwards as a result.
I just kind of want to like.
Have a nap.
Lie down in bed with Tabby.
Claire just wants to have a nap at this point, but Claire is not allowed to have a nap. Claire instead has to be here reading out all your messages.
I mean, I do like to be here and read. I wish I could do exactly that, but like horizontally, so that I could rest a little bit.
Do you need me to bring you a chaise longue so you can kind of lounge decadently while we do this?
That would be nice, but
it's a shame we don't. Sadly, we don't own a chaise longue, so that would be difficult. Yes. Oh dear. Right. Well, that's at least ready to go. Carthage is looking at least a tiny bit happy for the time being. Hopefully, long enough to get the flipping awesome Temple of Dionysus in play. And this place is. It's level 4, so after this, I can't build any more flipping temples. That's it for the time being. So that could represent a bit of a concern. That could represent a very major concern, in fact. Dear oh flipping dear. Right. Right. I need to spend some money. Claire, back to you while I'm spending some money.
Indeed. Shout out to Morrison, who gave us £5 and said, "Hi guys," and John wants to know, have you seen the game Late Shift? It's a movie that reacts to your choices using real actors.
Late Shift was that?
Yeah, I'm not exactly.
This does not ring a bell, I'm afraid.
It does not ring a bell, indeed.
That I'm not familiar with. I do not know.
Yeah, it's a video game by Wales Interactive.
Interesting. So kind of in the same way as what was the one I did that was like the real movie that was being played as a choice game? The one I played not long ago, was it The Bunker, Into the Bunker? I think it was just called The Bunker.
I can't remember, but I can definitely see from Googling Late Shift just now that there's a game and there's also a movie, so I'm not sure like which is which and if they're related. So that's
interesting, yeah. So many pirates around right now. I've just got to clear these bastards out. It's becoming such a problem.
Shout out to Francois, who says the Cult of Claire should buy me a chaise longue. I agree. So there you go.
Sorry, as in he wants a chaise longue bought for him, or the Cult of Claire should buy a chaise longue for
me.
For you.
Yeah.
I don't think you deserve a chaise longue.
Hey now. Anyway, shout out to John, who gave us $4.99 and said, "I love your vids," and also, who is Jen?
Who's Jen? I don't know what you're talking about. Jen is me doing a voice. We've been over this, people. Come on, keep up.
Jen is John's nemesis.
Jen is also my nemesis, yes.
Well, we don't talk about it, but Jen is John's nemesis.
But it's also secretly me. It's kind of a weird, messed up Tyler Durden thing I've got going on. It's really weird.
I would have gone with, like, Smeagol and Gollum, but whatever.
That too, yes.
Oh, wow, you took that. You didn't fight that back at all. I thought you were going to complain about it, but whatever.
No, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Oh dear. Back to you, Claire.
Yeah, shout out to Elias, who says, "I've been up for 22 hours.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was focusing on the hours, but they also gave us 100 Swedish kronor, so thank you for that.
Thank you very, very much indeed.
But shout out to Elias, who says, "I've been up for 22 hours now to catch this stream."
Wow.
You haven't been streaming for 22. You could have said in the meantime. Anyway. And I live in Sweden. Luckily, I won't work nights much longer. I can relate to all the Australians here now, and I can confirm that it is worth it.
Oh, good.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's good that they find it worth it. I don't know. I mean,
I think insofar as, like, the experience of watching a live stream VOD later, where it's pre-recorded and the chat is blatantly just something that's going by that has already happened, and it definitely makes sense to me in that regard. I'm going to cancel that theatre actually. Just because I think I'd rather just get more boats out for the time being.
No, definitely.
I just want to get... Yeah, no, it's good that you agree, because, you know, it is important we get boats out. Lots of boats.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't listening to what you were actually saying, but...
Uh-huh. Dear, oh dear. More boats, more boats, more boats, more boats. There's already boats there. Right, okay. I think we've got our first big-ass battle with the Romans right now. Fortunately, it's actually one where we've got some advantages. Well, okay. We've got an advantage. The advantage is we've got reinforcements coming in. The problem is, it's not a great army, and it's being controlled by Alypius the Conqueror, who's a decent guy, but he's also our faction heir. And I don't really want him to die. But he might decide to throw his life, so I can't play particularly defensively on this occasion. I've basically just got to move forward and get in here with my main army, because otherwise this guy will throw away his life. So Cornelius Julius, he is managing, basically it's nothing but a giant line of infantry. There's a tiny bit of light cav at the side, but barbarian cav mercenaries aren't going to do much. There's some piggies who will become bacon and do nothing. And then he is anything of interest. Downright mighty political animal. No, he's a kid. They've sent a young kid down with this army, so he's not got anything special about him, really. But equally, my guy actually is... This guy's kind of terrible. He's got no skills whatsoever. None. But on the plus side, he can't be bribed, so that's good. Right, well, let's get on to this. It's time for our first showdown with Julii while I'm laying out the battles. Claire, good chance for you.
Yeah, shout out to Phantom Banshee, who gave us $2 and said hashtag Cult of Jen, hashtag Cult of Claire, hashtag love you guys.
Aww,
with a smiley face.
That's very sweet, thank you.
No, they didn't say Cult of John, though, they said Cult of Jen.
Understandable.
Yeah, also shout out to the chat who's decided that Jen is John's Genesis.
Genesis. Which also implies that that's my mother. Also, I really like this asset, by the way.
Oh, God.
I don't see this. I don't see this very often. This is one of those little things that can just be generated around the outside of a battlefield, but it's a cool little kind of burial shrine thing. Like a family burial plot with all the little kind of alcoves inside it, and you can kind of, like, if you zoom in the camera, you can actually see all the little alcoves they built into it, and it's really cool. They can just be like little things around the outside. You see like farms the most frequently, but sometimes you find really fun ones, like these little graveyards that are really cool. So I'm really glad that one's there, because that one's a really cool one. And there's also just a bit of water here as well. Nice bit of water, lovely. Right, but actually, isn't that where my army's coming from? Hang on, my army is... Yeah, the city's over... Oh, it's over there. Sorry, no, it's probably going to just come from here. So that's fine. Right, just need to quickly draw up. Claire, to you.
Yeah, shout out to Coolman Fight, who gave us 100 Danish kroner and said this is some of the money I got back from taxes. Enjoy it, John and Claire.
Oh, well, thank you very, very much indeed.
And Torfbag gave us €2 and said I can't watch for long, but greetings from France.
Ooh.
Bonsoir, bonsoir. There's that. And then people...
That means death to the English, by the way, in case you, if you don't know.
Yeah, every French word, like, can mean either its own meanings or death to the English.
Pretty much.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also... They're saying instead of Smeagol and Gollum, Jen and you is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jennel, maybe.
Oh, dear.
That was poor even by my standards.
On that note, shout out to Nathaniel, who gave us $5 and said Santa's helpers are subordinate clauses.
Sorry, what?
Santa's helpers are subordinate clauses.
I'm glad that you decided to seg it to that on the top. We were doing absolutely terrible jokes. I'm very glad you did.
I try to do good segues.
Excellent, well done. Oh dear. Right, we're ready to go here. So, reinforcements are showing up. We just need to start moving now, though. We need to start moving immediately. Are they going to actually charge? And there's the general. If we can just nail him, we're good. So just move my forces forward a little bit here. Keep it all going forward. Get my archers into position. Good. The water's going to slow down the reinforcements. Some of them are going to be driven around the outside. And the first guys to hit the enemy line are the chariots, who are my best just kind of just throw in and forget. Also, if we look at the chariots from this angle, I like they're just the fake using reins. Obviously, they didn't bother adding reins into the game. But they're pretending they're using reins, damn it. They're pretending. It's adorable. Right, so what have we got? They've decided to basically form... Actually, they've formed up really deep. I was expecting them to be wider and try and flank, but they're not. Instead, they're forming up into 3 lines, which is very Roman, so that's fair. So we just need to gently, push forwards and see if we can pull them into a fight. I've got the cav advantage, even though it's fairly light cav. If I can just basically pin them, we should be okay. Also, our lines need to actually face each other. So let's actually just kind of actually see if we can get the facing correct. Also, we've got archers. They've got literally no archers. So if we can just pull into range, that'll be fine. And bear in mind as well, chariots are coming. Though I think the chariots are trying to regroup with these forces over here. They are pulling... They're pulling back. They're not desperately keen to fight, which is interesting. They're kind of, they're just pulling further and further back. They might wait until they've got a good enough opening to actually just head forward. Sometimes that's what they do. But let's just try just moving forward step by step. Eventually they'll charge. Or actually, they don't have to. They're on the defensive. They could just keep falling back. But eventually we should get close enough. We can start pelting them with arrows. But that's still not imminent. Right, Claire, while I just try and get into position, you probably got another moment.
Yes, indeed. Not called Pilkington, I cosplay as Egg Cartons 2, gave us I'm sorry, I need to do this correctly, actually. Shout out to Not Called Pilkington, I cosplay as Egg Cartons 2, who gave us £5, and they said, who says shout out to John, who says shout out to Claire, who says shout out to Tabby. Some people sometimes, I have a
They kind
formula.
of meta. They meta it a little bit.
I have a formula, and they meta it a little bit. There was someone with a username like Not Another Smartass or something like that, who I haven't seen in a bit, but used to come in chat a bit and send me super chats like that were a bit meta to trip me up.
I quite like the meta super chats.
No, I really love them.
I quite like them. I like anything that plays with the formats.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Cool Man Fight, who gave us another 200 Danish kroner. That's like the 3rd donation tonight. Thank you
thank
so
you very much indeed.
Says, I love the Cult of Claire, and I like John's jokes. And John, have you ever played Stardew Valley?
No. I played like a little bit of like a really old Harvest Moon. I think the N64 one way back in the day, which is kind of its, where it comes from. Its kind of spiritual predecessor. But no, I've not played Stardew Valley itself, though I've absorbed a tiny bit of information about it, just because, like, it became a bit of a cult classic and became fairly ubiquitous. But I agree, I think it would make a really cute little mini-series, so I am thinking about making, like, a little midweek mini-series for it at some point, absolutely.
Ooh, nice.
Now, I think I need to actually come back to the game for a minute because things are starting to heat up. They're moving forward, and I need to actually get some of my chariots over to this side of the battlefield because they're doing something rather interesting, which is their generals are all the way on their right, my left. And I don't know why their general would be all the way over here because for the moment at least, I've basically got, a bit of a free opening to just basically pelt him. All my archers are firing, all my skirmishers are firing. They'll probably get a couple of peeler hits in. Their general's now... He's backing off over here, but he's still here. Why did he go right over to one of the extremes? Possibly he was trying to get over here and, like, hit these Cretans or something, but it's kind of hard to tell. And they're really close to us. The Roman army is just kind of skirmishing right up to us right now. But as long as they're kind of doing that and not actually attacking and not throwing the peeler, and then not throwing the peeler, they're just sort of going backwards and forwards. I think possibly this guy might be about to get himself caught, but not quite. You can kind of see some javelins in the background. Some of the Roman forces are breaking just because of the volume of arrows they're being hit with. One unit of Astarte is about to run straight into Phalanx Pikemen. They're trying to reload, but they're actually being hit pretty hard by Militia Cavalry. So there's lots coming in there. The general's committed. He's basically decided to throw himself into the front line. I mean, in all fairness, he has found one relatively weak point in the line. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send these chariots around here for the time being, and I'm going to hope this line can hold. It's steady. I'm going to send these chariots around the side and see if I can slam into them. These archers are probably providing some good counterfire. Their general's backing off, but these chariots are going to be beautiful. Because these chariots are going to come over here, then it's going to swing round and hit this massive line. And this line is already shaken. Get it around the side, get it around the side, get it around the side. I just need to make sure I don't accidentally wreck my own phalanx. This might not even be necessary. In you go. Come on, guys. Go, 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 go. I think, in all fairness, it might actually be too late. Like, this... I'm surprised they're giving up this easily. But they do seem to be also you. Oh, in come the flaming arrows, by the way. Why are you turning to face that way? You're in guard mode. You're not supposed to do that. So at this point, my chariots are basically just... Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's a lot of dead Romans. Just look at them fly. Look at them fly. And the army's just collapsed. That's just given up. And now we should just be able to mop up the general. Because he's literally surrounded by fleeing units. Like, his morale is going to be in the toilet. And in they come. Heavy Cav can stand up a little bit better. But look at that. Even like the heaviest of Heavy Cav gets pretty much shredded by chariots. Even on very hard mode. So the general suddenly wants to try and flee. I'm heading into these Principes right now. Some of them are trying to regroup. But those guys are broken. So they might decide to actually go berserk down the line. But honestly, at this point, what are the Romans have got left? They've got one unit of Triarii, one of Principes. This has been a very, very good first engagement right here. Like, whatever's left at this point, they're just kind of... They're kind of coming in a little bit, but they don't have much left at this point. And I've still got one fresh unit of chariots ready to commit to those groups right there. They might get a couple of peeler hits in. It shouldn't be anything major. That general sadly does get away. His entire bodyguard dies, but the rest of him, yeah, he actually gets away himself. So we will be able to regenerate that over time. I may as well just basically send these few chariots over here to wrap up the Principes. You can see there the arrows coming in. The flipping archers still doing beautiful, beautiful work there, chasing these bastards off. May as well get over here, hit these Principes before they can actually throw anything else. They're already wavering, and there will be a morale penalty just for being close to these chariots. Archers continuing to do terrible work, and the army pretty much collapses. This is as good as done, though I can, of course, ride some of this down, which I will do now. But this is an excellent opportunity. I think we're pretty much done here. Claire, back to you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Jim, who gave us £5 and said, "This is long overdue. You have been a great source of joy since Julianus. Wish me luck with my heavily leaking boiler for more than 16 hours.
Ouch.
And please, John, never stop."
I will never stop. Nothing can stop me.
Yeah, that's pretty true. But like house stuff is bad. House stuff is difficult. Like, you know, household things, you know.
So the word house or space. I want to tell you a story now that's completely, aside from the word house, is totally non sequitur to this.
It's a good story. Go ahead.
Oh, you know the house. You know exactly the story I'm going to tell, don't you?
Yeah, but it's a good story.
You know the story I'm going to tell.
I give you permission to tell it.
I used to work. With this girl. She was lovely. I absolutely adored her. She wasn't always the brightest, but she was utterly lovely. I adored her. She's wonderful to work with. We at one point, like, me and someone else, we were in a taxi together, the three of us, and me and the other guy, we were discussing, I can't remember how it even came up, we were discussing basically the taxonomy of creatures and classification of different creatures and how it's done. And, you know, we would, you know, somehow, like, you know, someone mentioned passing, you know, living things other than animals, and this girl looked at me and said, what's alive that's not an animal? And we were passing by this house that had this really impressive row of like bushes and plants at the front. So just, you know, just Sally, look out the window. What do you see there? And she looked at it for a second, turned to me with the most confused look on her face and said, "House? Sally, Sally, the house isn't alive, Sally." I loved Sally. I've had lunch with Sally a few times since then. Back when I was working in East London, I had lunch with her. A couple of times. Oh, she was wonderful. I loved Sally so much. But just this one time, she honestly thought, because she couldn't see what the window, she just thought a house might be a living thing. It was amazing. Sorry, that was out of nowhere. Aside from that, the word house always makes me laugh as a result. Whenever anyone just says house on its own, that just makes me laugh. Oh, the dead Romans. Oh, the dead Romans. Claire, back to you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Callum, who gave us £9 and said, "Mary, after one mug, have either of you ever been to Scotland?"
I have. A friend of mine who I knew at university got married in Edinburgh. And sadly, I didn't actually have... Were you busy or did I just not have a +1?
No, you didn't have a +1.
I didn't have a +1. Okay. Because I couldn't remember why...
Big wedding, wasn't it?
It was a pretty big wedding, yeah. And there were people from all over the world because one of them was Indian origin, one of them was Scottish origin. So it was kind of a half Scottish wedding, half Indian wedding. So there were lots of like Scottish traditions, but there were lots of Indian traditions mixed in as well. It was very colourful. And it was a very fascinating wedding, and I had to take the train up to Edinburgh. For that.
I think you mean the Hogwarts Express.
Pretty much, yes. But it was a really lovely train. I got a train up to Edinburgh, and it was a lovely city. I really liked it. I liked it. It's kind of sinister how the whole city seems to be like permanently like in cowering in the shadow of a giant bloody flat-topped mountain that's right next to it. But other than the fact it kind of looks like an evil villain's lair. Or you're the villagers cowering under said evil villain's lair. Other than that, it was great. Also, I don't have my tiny clock.
Oh no, you
Claire,
don't.
I've no. It's in there.
It's in there. Okay, just a second.
Well, I need my tiny clock.
Let me read you the rest of that super chat.
Yes, good idea.
Callum says, I've been a subscriber since circa even 20,000 subscribers.
Oh wow,
roughly, and Patreon for a while. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you very, very much indeed.
Yeah, and Galter Dude gave us $5 and wanted some advice for taking on Dwarven spheres in Skyrim. I keep dying.
They're really nasty. I personally just think conjuration is the answer. You just need them to be hitting something that's not you. So, like, whether that be a companion you're healing up or something you've conjured that they're attacking, as long as you can just get around the back of them and do the DPS, that's fine. Because, like, unlike many enemies in Skyrim, you can't just, like, snipe them off with, like, a long-range stealth bow shot. Just because of the problem that, like, they spawn in out of the pipes when you get close to them, so it's very hard to see them before they're already active and hunting you. So you can't really get the sneak attacks on them. I guess maybe you could, like, distract them with a conjuration, run away, go invisible, and then if you... Well, this is assuming you're good at stealth and illusion. Like, run away with a conjuration distraction, then just run back later, or rather sneak back later under the effect of invisibility with a dagger, and go for a dagger attack if you've got the right equipment, and you've got it to sneak 60 so you can take the backstab. Maybe that would work. I do not know. I don't pretend to be an expert at Skyrim. I know, I'm fairly familiar with the mechanics, but I'm certainly no expert.
Yes, indeed.
Also, I've got a small clock now, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, your plan is usually 50% more clock, says Dionysus. Yeah, pretty much. You usually just get someone tankier than you to protect you.
Well, that was how I played, until I became so tanky that I was protecting everybody else. Which is why we ultimately had to change it around.
Benor.
I had to protect Benor. By the end, like
that's what you call it.
Well, okay,
protect.
Or I had to just keep bringing him back because he kept dying because he refused to put on his bloody armor. Not my fault. Not my fault. Carry on, Claire.
Yes, indeed. Oh.
Or are you all caught up?
Sorry, no, I'm not. Sorry, I'm just laughing at something that just happened in chat.
Well, share it with the rest of the class.
That's right. They're just talking about spicy haggis and curried haggis and
excellent,
all that.
excellent.
I'm just amused that the chat, like, continually every week, again and again and again, conversations about weird food get started. I find that very amusing.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I said it's a good thing. It's really amusing.
Excellent. Right, let's just see what happens over the next turn here.
Francois mentions that we can use the detect life shout, the VAS shout, to see where spheres spawn, but I thought it was just for living things.
I think anything that's deemed to be... I think it's more like active, because it also sees, like, Draugr, and it sees all sorts of... And it sees, like, undead companions and stuff, and it sees vampires. So I think it's just, like, anything that's deemed to be active. It sees. But, like, just because you can see them doesn't always help because they're hiding inside the pipe, so you still can't get the sneak attack on them. So, you know what? This person who's desperate to be married, like, this guy's 32 and at least he's not terrible. I'll just take him. And he's in Salamis, fine. We'll ship him over with the next army. In fact, I'll probably have him step out there so I remember he exists. In fact, you can this guy... Hand over your Priest of Asclepius, because you're ever so slightly younger. So I'll have this guy move over here. These boats keep on moving in this direction. Lovely. Now, have we had any further movement from the Julii? No. What we do, however, have is potentially an opportunity right now to punch into Patavium. But it's going to be a bit on the difficult side. Because there's an army nearby. But look at that. Basic. Actually, this is interesting. Where are the advanced Roman troops? Because we have confirmed Marius has occurred. Yet where are the new troops? Ah, there's some. Praetorian cohorts. You see, this is what I see Rome do a lot, which is the moment Marius happens, Rome goes obsessed with Praetorian cohorts, and they start showing up everywhere.
Good man.
Yes.
Shout out to Ollie, who gave us €5 and said, does Aura Whisper detect house?
Logically so, yes.
Which I know is quite good anyway.
I will never hit, like, if Claire just wants to make me laugh, you just need to say the word house, and I will always know that's what it's referring to. It makes me laugh.
Or indeed, minute men.
Minute man. or the Doe Jones.
The Doe Jones is just like the normal way of referring to it.
The good old Doe Jones. Oh, and we've got a new kid. Is he going to be good? Social drinker, positive. Yeah, actually, that's pretty damn good. That's actually a good starting point. So you, my good man, congratulations. Let's just actually hand over some people to you, because actually, you're actually good. So you take everybody of both of these guys. I think actually you've already got a quartermaster. Take the priest of Asclepius. You're only 16. You, one day, could be very good indeed. Get to Antioch. Oversee the training of a new army there. You, my good man, could be just what we're waiting for. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Also, let's just get some more flipping silver shields and more silver shields. All of the silver shield, pikemen, and other forms of infantry. That can be the next army that heads to the west. Claire, back to you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Will, who gave us £7.84. And said this is for the first hour of the upcoming Fallout 3 deconstruction video / rant.
Oh my god, that's got so long. Oh my god, the last time I checked the word count of my notes, not script, just notes. Quite detailed notes, but still notes. I think it's about 6,500, 7,000 words. Like, this is going to be longer than my university dissertation was. I'm not kidding. That's not a joke.
Maybe you should have done your university dissertation on Fallout 3.
I didn't. I did my university dissertation on comedy. On Greek comedy. I can't remember the exact title now. I probably still have it somewhere on a hard drive. Actually, because the laptop it was saved on died years ago. But I know I have an old backup of it. But it's on a thumb drive that'll be buried in an old box somewhere. So I don't know where it would be. Yeah. That's all that's left of poor Cornelius Julius's army, by the way. We're probably safe to put Capua. Actually, you know what? I won't put Capua under siege until I've actually got some flipping. Until I've actually got some onagers nearby. Any chance I can train onagers around here? No onagers there. What about here? Yes, onagers. Nice. I can get onagers in production on the mainland at Crotorm. That works for me. And good quality cavalry. I can actually get some of those. In fact, you get back to the city, and cavalry, come and join me.
So Roderick Quincy Font on the bottom, the magnificent Hand King of Australia, says in chat, 6,000 to 7,000 words doesn't sound that long when put into video presentation. I've done scripts for my videos that were like 4 or 5 pages, about like 3,000 words, and they ended up being 15-20 minutes. So, you know, I mean, it won't be like much longer than a normal video that you do.
Yeah, but that's notes. That's notes. It's not a script.
I thought you were scripting.
It's not. Some of it's vaguely scripty. Some of it's just notation. And also, there are pauses where I let, like, if I'm talking about a particular point, I need to actually let, like, a particular line of audio play to demonstrate my points.
Oh, sure.
It's going to be stupid. It's going to be feature length. I think the bare minimum I can hope for is 90 minutes. It's going to be a feature length takedown, which is appropriate because, like, the most famous, like, takedown of Fallout 3, H-Bomber guys, is about 90 minutes. So it'd be kind of appropriate if my kind of sort of answer to it was also 90 minutes long. I would like to think that would be the case. So, you know, we'll see. We'll have to just flipping see, I suppose.
Notilius says, what will come first, the Fallout 3 video or the Dragon Age Origins series?
I've never heard of Dragon Age. Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not like anyone asks after it.
No, never.
Shout out to Megaraptor.
Hey, hello, Megaraptor.
Hello, Megaraptor, who gave us $20 and said, hello, John. Hello, Claire. I'm at work. Yay. Sad face for me. Same, Mega Raptor, same. Anyways, I'll be watching with the chat on Monday. I saw your question, Sir Roderick, who was asking people if they thought it was better to watch with the chat or watch,
I think it depends. Like, some people really enjoy the chat. Some people, some people probably don't actually like the chat and don't think it adds that much. And I know some people purely watch the highlights because the highlights are kind of mostly just the big interesting battles, and they don't have like the back and forth with the chat. And I can see if you're not there live for the back and forth, why you might prefer that. I know some people have that preference.
Yeah, and he also says, anyways, here's a 20 for the Fallout 3 video. Stay strong, John. Stay strong.
I will try. I will try.
Then there are also some people saying nice things about my video, so I have to put it in because it's them saying it, so that's... it's a bit weird, but there you go. Shout out to Cole, who gave us £10 and said, I had a pretty good payday, so spreading the love. I love your videos, Claire. And Morrison gave us £5 and wanted to know if I'm going to do a book video on the Black Magician series, and that's by Trudy Canavan. But I haven't read it yet. It's definitely one of those that I've been aware of for a little while. But yeah, I mean, if you recommend it, I'll definitely have another look-see at it and consider it.
Yeah, very good indeed.
Oh, books about magic. I'm generally up for books about magic.
I'm not sure that was a real question. I think you made that up.
Well, I mean, I can show it to you on the screen. Anyway, there's more people being excited about your really, really long...
It's gonna be so stupidly long. You have no clue. You don't even know, people. You don't even know.
Sent Me a Badger gave us $12 and says if the Fallout 3 discussion video is going to be close to 168 hours, can you let me know when you plan to release? I have some holiday to schedule.
Okay. The current plan is, well, I said about a week ago, it was a week ago. So it was supposed to be after this stream today. That didn't happen. But it's going to be a week today. Which it's going to be right up to the point where I decide it's not going to be a week today again. Again.
Shout out to Grafen, who gave us €5 even, sorry, and said, here's some money for all the quality content you guys deliver.
Oh, thank you very much indeed.
Will we get more from the Nerd Rangers in the future? Big robots are awesome!
Murder is sometimes justified!
Woo!
I was thinking it might come back as in a live stream format. I wasn't sure.
Be a delightful live
what I need to do is, like, I often try and, like, figure out, like, how much the community is interested in the video by looking at, like, if I think something could be a series, I'll make, like, the first couple of parts, and now look at, like, how many people watch the second part versus the first part, and also how many people watch the first part. Because that can kind of give me a pretty good idea for how many people would stick around for more of a series. Which is why often I kind of trail things with, like, a little midweek mini-series, and I see how they do, and, like, the best ones have a chance of being promoted. Some stuff I just straight up make into a series. Like, Skyrim is coming to a close in the pretty near future, and I'm, like, 95% sure now I know what I want to replace it with.
Ooh.
About 95%. There's still a 5% doubt floating around, but I'm like 95% on what it's gonna be. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that. So just watch this space for that sort of thing. Watch this space.
Yeah, we've also got another message from Thomas Richter, who gave us 5 Brazilian reals and said, yay, a 90 minutes Fallout video. It's like 50% more minutes inside.
That is true. Right.
I'm sorry, I meant minutes.
Of course you did. Right, we've got our...
Oh my god, sorry. Sorry. Nautilius.
I'm not even allowed to... I'm not allowed to play Rogue Total War. She just doesn't let me.
It's so annoying when people do that to you.
Go on, Claire. What has Nautilius done?
Nautilius said in the chat that you should do the Fallout 3 video for the anniversary of the channel, and I said, that has to be cooking related. Sir Roderick Quincy von Thunderbottom, the Magnificent Hiking of Australia, says you should just cook the script. Just imagine John cooking the script. I don't know why it made me really laugh at the time.
Excellent.
I do realise a minute later that it's maybe perhaps just a little bit silly. But
yes.
Anyway, never mind. Keep playing the game.
Right, so we've got ourselves a big, interesting moment here, which is Batavium, which I've always wanted to seize, because if I can just take Batavium, basically, the Julii will have to throw everything they've got at Batavium. I've got the option to get inside. Now, the army inside is basically nothing. The faction leader, Lucius Julius, can be picked off with a couple of Principes. There is a small-ish army floating around nearby. I need to engage and destroy them, and then after that point, Batavium, I should just be able to walk in with my elephant units. Batavium already at 30,000 population right now. So, this is going to be interesting. So I can begin the battle because of my elephants. So, that's nothing major. This guy, however, what do I know about him? Careless, discreet, positive, +1 morale. Okay, so his troops aren't going to break for nothing, but he's a young kid, he's not much of a commander, and his troops are old stuff for the most part. Velites, old Roman archers, bunch of fairly low-tier stuff, and some puppies. Should be able to handle this, hopefully, anyway. Anyway, Claire, while I'm setting up, you will have another moment.
Yeah, sure thing. Shout out to Morrison, who gave us £2 and asked, what happened to the Mars game? I miss it.
To the what?
The Mars game.
Oh, Surviving Mars?
I think they mean Surviving Mars, yeah, because that's the most...
I thought it was a really fun little interesting game. A fun little interesting game. But what I kind of felt was like... I showed off what I felt was like a healthy amount of it across 3 parts. And then, like a game like that, because especially it's a Paradox, like, published game, I felt like the right thing to do was just kind of wait for a bit, let them release, you know, let them optimize it, improve it, rebalance it, let them release some more stuff for it, and then, like, see how it's getting on down the line. And, like, revisit it once it kind of gets a little bit further along. Because very often games like that need like a little bit of polish first. So I just wanted to kind of let them finish it up a little bit first, and then we'll see what goes on with it. So that was kind of my thought over with that sort of thing. So we will keep an eye on it, absolutely. And I suspect it might come back later. But kind of like how Stellaris generally comes back whenever there's a new expansion, I'm kind of going to wait for them to finish it up a little bit first. I feel like it still needs just a little bit of polish and refinement. Though I think it's great fun. Like, it's a game that's, like, engineered to be the sort of thing that I flipping like. So, yeah, I had a great time with it, but I'm going to let them work on it a little bit more. Speaking of which, in this battle, I'm going to also... The Greek Cav can go and join the main army. My main army is going to be over there, basically, and try and deal with those guys as they come into the battlefield. My main Elephant Corps is going to come over here, and the moment the battle begins, is just going to basically try and take out this gate. And yeah, that will basically be an easy end. Yeah, this is a rather weird site, which is it's a level 5 Imperial Palace Julii city, but with some like original barbarian features still intact. The original barbarian market, surrounded by a nice public park, is still there. The stupid barbarian stockade is still there. It's all very interesting. So these guys are going to try and push in. In fact, actually, they're moving in very slowly. So I can probably pull this force just forward a little bit. Just ready to kind of move against them at this point. And I can also send my chariots around here just to make sure they don't escape. And keep the elephants nearby. The elephants don't want to fight, but the elephants can. The elephants can, at the absolute bare minimum, they can basically add a morale penalty onto the Romans. So I've got some chariots over here ready to slam into all of this. If the Roman armoured general wants to expose himself up front and try and rush for the city, I'm happy to catch him with chariots and then follow up the advantage with Greek Cav. Because what are they going to try and do? Yeah, if they try and run the gauntlet, the archers will tear them apart. So this could all work. Keep this as, yeah. The general is absolutely just going to expose himself up front. So I'm basically in a position to try and help out with that. In go the Chariot. So it's Chariots versus Heavy Cav. The Chariots haven't done a great job penetrating, but we've taken out quite a few of them, and he starts running. Chase him down, pull my Chariots out. My light Greek Cav should be able to take him out. My Chariots can hopefully get out of there before they actually break or go berserk. And now my light Cav just needs to chase down these guys. Come on, guys. Guys, your light Cav. There you go. They got the memo, and now not wanted to... What? No. Get after him. Your one job is to chase him down. Stop it. Right. Hastati firing missiles, just get on them. And at this point, these guys are already starting to, yeah, they're frightened by elephants. This is why I want the elephants right there. Even if you only got like 2 elephants is fine. Because 2 elephants is enough to provide a really big, oh, shredded, 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 absolutely shredded. Surprisingly, actually shaken. Now wavering. Now wavering. You know what? Let's just get these guys onto the next Hastati, because those guys are wavering because they're close to the elephants. Just kind of move straight on. Have I managed to take out the... Wait, what? You recovered and you haven't chased them down? Take them out! They're so weak. Just surround them. In we go. Chariot's going over here. Chariot's going over here. Chariot's going over here. The puppies have been released. The puppies are going straight into the spears. That's not going to work out. These guys are collapsing and they're running, trying to run straight through here. And there goes the Roman general, who I think was trying to cut through my flipping archers, but he may have done a tiny bit of damage, but nothing major. Right, this all works for me. Have you already taken out the gate? Oh, you've already taken out the gate. Right, well, Principes, frightened by elephants. I assume they've already thrown their peeler. Right, no, this is just a tense standoff going on here. Yeah, you want to try it? I'm an elephant. Give it a go. Go on. Go on. No, you first. You first. You first. All right, we'll probably bring up the rest of the army first.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. We've got another army over here, so we may as well just kind of use, you know, that army before we do anything else. So yeah, let's just actually ride these bastards down, and that should be about, yeah, that's pretty much your lot. So all of this right now can basically just head over here and join up with that force. So that's going to take a little bit of time to actually move over and migrate back over to where they should be. So Claire, back to you while that's happening.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Mostly Caffeine, who gave us £10 and said this is possibly too late, but have you seen the wearable lantern mods for Skyrim?
The what?
The wearable lantern mods for Skyrim.
No, and I'm not really sure what you need them for, because darkness isn't exactly a massive...
they're like literally just explaining at the end of the super chat.
Okay, we'll carry on then. Carry on then.
They say no balance change, just less suddenly plunging into darkness or trying to sneak around with a glowing orb over your head.
Well, I've actually kind of, in some of the parts, I've kind of got used to kind of using my torch a little bit more. Because, like, I think that the lighting is a bit more organic. I mean, I never had a problem with, like, the big glowy ball of light, because I kind of liked, you know, how Harry Potter Lumos spell, where you're in very darkness, then you cast light and it's very brightly lit up. It kind of made you feel like the magic was actually, you know, making a huge difference.
It's just not great when you're trying to sneak.
Yeah. Except the enemy don't seem to notice, so it's fine. No one seems to notice, so it's absolutely a-okay. Oh, we've got to walk all the way past the flipping Imperial Palace just to get over to the actual plaza. So yeah, we're just gonna be a bit of a slow march up to victory here, but that's fine. We can put it on 6 times speed, so it will not take that long. Claire, for you.
Evil Clone in the chat just asked for yours and my favorite prom stories. They say their prom is tonight. Yeah, prom stories, and I don't have any because we don't really do prom at all in France. And I'm not sure there was any kind of a dance that you...
I mean, we had like a little kind of like, you know, just a little ball thing when I left school, but it wasn't a big deal, to be honest. It wasn't a massive deal at all. I've made a mistake here. These chariots are being a little bit on the shredded side, so this isn't working out well for them because they don't really have the impact or the motion, and the elephants are kind of going in one at a time. So send in more. Send in more. We can do this. Oh no, the chariots have gone berserk, and the elephants are right there. No, get the. Now the elephants are broken. Okay, maybe don't send my general towards the ramp. This is the worst decision I've ever made. Okay. So this is fun. Luckily, rampaging and retreating elephants still do a very good job throwing some Romans around on the way out, but hopefully these chariots will just naff off the map at this point and not cause me tons of trouble, because the edge of the map is right there. So hopefully that's what they'll do. Elephants. Oh, the elephants have recovered and then immediately broke again. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just bring the archers up and we'll do this in the traditional fashion. It'll be fine. Marvellous. Right, Claire, to you.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Trekker Director, who gave us 10 Brazilian reals and asked, John, what do you think about the Macedonia-Greece thingy?
Oh, no. No, no. No, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Alright? You guys figure that out for yourselves. I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, so the next question after that is who really owns the legacy of Alexander the Great?
That's the same question and I'm not touching it.
Yes, it's the same question because you started shouting before I could finish it. We read the super chats even if you don't reply to the question. Oh, also, they said, P.S. Claire, as a French person, how do you pronounce the TH sound so well? Love from sunny Rio.
You should hear trying to pronounce the THS sound. Ugh.
Okay, that's not a real sound. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
When I was at university and I was studying English, one of my professors said to me, you know, your spoken English is really good, but you can't really do this TH sounds. And we were doing Wordsworth and Coleridge at the time. It was a literature class. It was my literature professor, and we were doing these poems by Wordsworth and Coleridge. And one of them is called "The Thorn," and it has the two th sound, which are a the that's more like a z, and thorn, which is more like closer to an s. And so I practiced using that poem that has the two different sounds close to each other. So I could do both of them. I practiced. The answer is I practiced. Also, then I came to England and I stayed like here with you for 10 years.
Yeah.
For reasons.
And then you never quite mastered certain sounds, did you?
John, do you want to say frothy for us?
Fizzy.
Yeah.
It's pronounced fizzy. Dead romance.
Also, oh my goodness. Will in the chat points out that when I try to say 10 Brazilian reals, it sounds like I'm saying 10 bazillion reals. Shout
out to the people who donate 10 bazillion reals.
I'm sure the person donating would love to have 10 bazillion reals that they can just donate.
So apparently by the way, I've just got some cavalry just chilling out here that apparently just made it through the gates at one point. So that's good. That's nice. I may as well, I guess, deploy them over here and just basically start mopping up some of the units. Because there's some Hastati. Alright, there's just apparently I've got some spare cav on that side of the field. That works for me. Marvellous.
Sorry. Just, you know, sometimes people in the chat are being weird and we have to tell them not to be weird.
Duly noted.
Don't be weird, guys. Don't make it weird. Okay,
well, unless you're making it weird in a fun way. That's okay.
John, when just so you know in the chat, when I use the phrase, don't make it weird, it means that there's a line of, like, stuff that you bring up to people in, like, you know, polite company, and you're kind of across the line, and don't make me time you out for 100 seconds, 300 seconds, or whatever it is. You know.
Listen to
like,
Claire.
Make it weirder.
Everybody listen to your chat mother.
Oh my god. John, can you please not make it weird?
You're gonna time me out for 5 minutes, are ya?
If only I could. Anyway, shout out to Mr. Ghost of 5 who gave us $5 and said, what does a turkey do when he flies upside down? And what weighs 6 ounces, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous?
Is this 2 jokes or 1 joke?
I think it might be
How
2
many jokes is this?
I think it might be 2 jokes, but there's also not the answers there. So that doesn't help me.
Okay, repeat the jokes. Let's see if we can tease out a punchline here.
What does a turkey do when he flies upside down?
Okay, what are turkeys known to do? Related to stuffing, Thanksgiving,
being
gobble.
Delicious.
Being delicious. He ends up stuffed because it's a bad way to fly, and also stuffing.
I don't know.
Right, I don't know. Right, what's the second one?
What weighs 6 ounces, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous? I mean, presumably...
How much is 6 ounces? Can you convert that into a sensible, logical form of weight, please? What have we got?
It is 170 grams.
170. Oh, not much.
Yeah, not much at all.
I don't know.
What weighs 200 grams, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous?
This is dangerous stuff, by the way, here, which is when you read out jokes where we don't have the punchline could be truly awful.
I don't really know. Yeah. Anyway,
so we shall see. We shall see. Let's wait for that.
Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so someone else in the chat, I think it's a different person. Yeah, someone else in the chat says what does a turkey do when he flies upside down? Gobbles up. And what weighs
wait, what?
Gobbles up? I don't know.
I don't get the pun there. Also, I know I've probably pointed this out before in the main series. It endlessly amuses me that every arch in Rome Total War has the same inscription on it. And the inscription specifically has Vespasiano on it. So it basically is tied to the Emperor Vespasian, or rather the House Vespasian. Even if like there's no Vespasian in your empire, it's just like they just took this one inscription and they just said, oh screw it, we'll just put this Latin-y inscription on all the archers. Even though the inscription makes reference to a specific emperor who doesn't exist in your game. Which amuses me.
Megaraptor came home.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Megaraptor who gave us $100.
Hello, Megaraptor. Thank you very, very much indeed.
Thank you so much. He says, hi John, hi Claire, I'm home. I just listened on my way home to the detriment of my data. I was like, why did you have a date driving home? But the thing was data.
Do we know what time zone Megaraptor's in? Which currencies?
US?
Yeah, it must be US, because it's US dollars, yeah.
I have a question for John. Hypothetically, how much would it be for you to do a video on commission with your executive approval? I don't have a game in mind, I'm just curious.
Well, the thing is, I get offers to make sponsored videos for money all the time. And I turn them down all the time, because very often, like, the thing is, if it's a game that I, would just like to play, then for the most part, then, like, they just send me the code and I play it. Like, the sort of people who offer you a code and the first thing they say is, hey, we want you to play this game, how much money would it take? That's the sort of game I'm not going to play on the channel, full stop. Like, there have been times when I've kind of considered it very closely. Like, for example, Total War Arena, which I did a video on. They offered me money to make that video. I said no, and then made the video anyway. Because that way, they had no editorial oversight over it, so I could say whatever I wanted. So I could just, like, I could just say what I wanted, it didn't matter. We're just waiting for the bloody phalanxes to show up, by the way. They'll be here soon, it just takes them a while to get through the gate, because they all get stuck in the gate. So I do get, offered the chance to make videos. Like, the amount of money is very significant, too. Like, you're talking hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. Like, people say they would give me to make a sponsored video. And I think I've never done one. I've turned every single one down. The only thing I've ever done that you could kind of call a sponsored video, if you wanted to, was the Oculus Rift guys. They sent me the free Oculus Rift together with the little hand-holdy things, the special hand controllers that the Oculus Rift have. Now, they didn't pay me any money. They didn't ask for any editorial oversight. And they said I could choose any games I wanted to play on it. So I played a few games I wanted to play anyway, like Super Hot VR. Now, is that sponsored? I don't know, because, like, loads of games, I get sent free review code, and I play that, and I don't consider that sponsored, because there's no editorial oversight, and I've received no money, and there's no expectation that I have to make a video, or I have to be positive in it. So I kind of saw that as the same thing. So I clearly flagged that you might wish to consider this sponsored during those videos. I flagged that very clearly during those videos. Other than that, I've never done a sponsored thing. And honestly, I struggle to see a scenario I would, because, like, when something like, that's as well suited to this channel as Total War Arena, that I'm going to make a free video about anyway, and even then I turn down the money, I honestly struggle to see what I'd take the money for at this point. So we leave a lot of money. We leave a lot of money on the table that we don't take, that we could take, because I personally prefer to fund the channel through ads and direct support and Patreon, not sponsored videos.
Because the thing is,
that's my
once
preference.
You do one of them, then you do another one, and it just seems to, like,
Yeah.
You can do one of them and say, I will never take editorial oversight, but then once you're used to doing them, you don't...
Yeah.
It's just a tricky thing, and...
there's definitely an element to which, why didn't I just take these guys out of formation and make them run the whole time? That would have been much faster.
And I mean, people prefer for us not to do them as well. Anyway,
I think there is a preference for them.
yeah.
I think there's a preference against them.
Anyway, Megaraptor actually sent us an update. You know you can reply me. You don't actually need to give us more money.
Yes,
so
I think
that
that's very
reply.
reasonable.
Oh
I think that's
goodness.
very reasonable.
Anyway, Megaraptor gave us another $2 and said it's 12:27 p.m. here. Does that mean that means noon, right? That means
yeah, that's just afternoon. Yeah, half past noon.
So it's noon.
Yeah.
Here. Also, I meant more so for a fan game.
Oh.
He wants to be producer for. This is me, by the way, applying. This is me applying meaning to his comments. He hasn't said that, but a few people have said jokingly that he's like the executive producer of the channel now because he's so incredibly generous.
This is okay. The spearmen are being a bit fiddly with me here. They're refusing to line up correctly because they're trying to regroup. They're trying to regroup, guys. Guys, I need you to get into position like now-ish. Like don't stray onto the guys. Guys, don't stray onto the plaza, please. Oh, they're gonna get themselves killed right now. Oh, this is just gonna be beautiful. They've nearly got it. Just guys, you guys, I need you to get over here because there's cavalry. Oh, this is just okay. Just this is a mess. They kind of they got spread out and now they've kind of vaguely gone onto the plaza. But they are killing some cav, but not that many. There's still 88. Okay. Oh, this has gone completely wrong. Well done. Well done. I mean, bare minimum, you'll kill a few of them, but these guys are going to break because the phalanx is just absolutely in shambles. And when one breaks, the others will break. Actually, this guy over here is steady. This guy over here is steady. So, there is at least a chance. Yeah, guys, just... Okay, you actually had your spears up before. Now you've changed your mind. This is why you just... It's the problem with phalanxes. Right, while I bring up reinforcements... Claire, back to you. Oh, no, sorry. Answering the specific question. Fan games are a really difficult thing. Fan games are a very difficult thing because they're often put together by small amateur teams. Meaning they're not often of a quality that kind of puts them on par with most of the games that I would do on the channel. So... I find them difficult. I find them very difficult.
I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm misinterpreting there, but what I thought they meant was, like, how much would a fan have to give you for you to consider a game? But I don't know.
Well, honestly, like, that's not really how I work. Like,
yeah,
I get, like, you know, people, I've previously covered games because someone's, like, you know, just mentioned it, like, you know, someone's seen an article on PC Gamer or whatever, and they've, like, replied to it saying, you know, at Many a True Nerd, hey, this looks really cool, do you think it's interesting? And, like, I made the decision, you know, I looked at it and think, okay, does this look interesting? Does this look like my sort of thing? And that's kind of how I can make a decision. And this isn't fair, now they're just going to come at the side of me. I hate everything. Right, just try and turn. If you can get your spears down, like try and turn. Just take out a few more horses. This is ridiculous. Where did you come from? What? Hey, wait, what? Who are you? How long have you been here? Just okay. Right, spears down. Who are you? Why are you over? This is so... The phalanxes are being very weird with me right now. These phalanxes are... That's not... I'm telling you to attack this guy! Why are the spears pointing over... You're all useless. I don't generally work that way insofar as I don't just like, you know... I don't... The things that are recommended with more money aren't more likely to happen. I do the things that I know I'm going to be able to do the best and which I think would make the best videos. And that is regardless of money, is pretty much how I work, yes. That's the answer.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, people have let me know in the chat that the answer to the joke, what weighs 100 grams, sits in a tree and is very dangerous, is a sparrow with a machine gun.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer.
Jokes are weird. Anyway, shout out to Mostly Caffeine, who wanted to know if you're thinking of any of the expansion-sized mods after Dragonborn. Clockwork has some really rather good creepy moments and involves a robot butler.
I think we're having a break from Skyrim. I'll say that. We're not going straight into more Skyrim.
Yeah, and Project sorry. I'm using a contraction because the name is really difficult to say, but Project AHO, which is Ethereum Hyperscape Observatory, arrived last month, they say, and it gives you some new FaceTime with the Telvanni.
Ah, okay.
I love that, like, now, whenever people are saying, you know, John, you should play this in this game, you know, you should play Obsidian or more, you know, whatever, they're all like, and this is where you can get more Master Nell off.
Yeah, this is where Master Nell off is. That makes sense to me. They know how to get me on board and interested.
Exactly.
You stupid bastards. I can't believe you're actually doing that right now. They're actually coming out and hunting me, which is actually working annoyingly well. Come on, you stupid... This bloody hell. Okay, just take him out. Just somebody, please. Someone just kill this bloody Roman general without just... I'm telling them to attack right now. They're being ordered to attack. They're being ordered to attack, but they're just falling back. So this is all going marvelously well. Eventually, he'll just die through attrition. Right? Sooner or later, he will just die through attrition. Okay, at least the silver shields are up front. This is just straight up embarrassing. On the plus side, we might finally have a critical mass here where we can actually do some damage to these bastards. Down to 35. Just... There we go. Spears down if you've got spears. It's not the right way. That's completely the wrong direction for the spears. That's wrong too. All wrong. Wrong. Oh, finally. Yay! This is embarrassing. How much of his army has he killed? He's killed like half my army's dead. It's pretty much entirely that guy. Oh dear. That guy was tough. That guy was very bloody tough. Right, Claire.
Yeah, Mr. Ghost of 5 just updated us on the jokes and said, I think particularly the Sparrow with machine gun one is from the 1969 Batman movie.
Ah, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Although I think the internet says 1969 is the Adventures of Batman, and the Batman movie was 1966. But there you go.
Ah, okay. Claire coming in with the fact bombs there.
Well, I wanted to look it up because we had a long conversation the other day about which was the best, you know, which were the good Batman films and stuff, and what.
Well, we didn't say that. We said which were like the most watchable Batman films.
Okay, so the background to this conversation is, like, I don't really like noir things, and I've, like, never seen any type of a Batman thing. Like, I'm not really into Batman. And I was kind of telling John, who loves Batman, like, what should I
don't really love Batman, but I think I like it a lot more than you. Certain bits of it, anyway.
Yeah, but you were just really excited because Gotham was back.
Gotham's back! Oh, my God. And this just gives me an excuse to rewatch Batman in the future or Batman Beyond, depending on what territory you're in, because that's amazing stuff. That is just the best. Right, you guys just get over here. Forward a bit more. Forward a bit more. Forward a bit more. And then later, just go and just basically, yeah, that's fine. Just start firing there. Yeah, shoot those bastards. Shoot them down. 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 You guys get your spears down. Thank you. Shoot them in the back. Don't bother. No, don't bother running away. Just fire. Fire at everything. It's okay. Take out that one last guy. Bloody hell. Okay, they're breaking now. This is fine. This is all done at this point. This has been such a scruffy battle. Sometimes it just happens. Like, sometimes, like, some heavy cavalry just basically shows up and wrecks your day for no well-explained reason. Just because for some reason it's just today it's ridiculously powerful. I can just break everything. Especially phalanxes, if phalanxes get into a stupid position. So finally we've managed to actually win that. Having lost like 1,000 men doing it. Luckily, it looks like we're going to get most of them back through casualties being healed. But that was just stupid. And it's going to make holding Batavium a lot more difficult. But on the plus side, we can exterminate 22,000 people in revenge. What have we got here? Oh, Temple of Ceres. I think you can do without that, to be honest. I think you can definitely do without that. I think this is one of those rare instances where I will actually take Dionysus. Normally you don't really want Dionysus, but I think it's kind of worth it just for basically, yeah, the happiness. I need the happiness, like, as quick and fast as possible, and I need growth to be as low as possible, which is why I wouldn't take Asclepius, even though it gives you the same happiness overall, because public health is also a happiness increase modifier. I'm going to take Dionysus because I want the city to grow slowly. And I can also, luckily, I can repair all of these damaged troops here, which works for me. And I can also get... What do I actually need? What's lacking? I could do with one more group of archers. And also, yeah, I can do without retraining that guy. So that's fine. So my faction heir has just killed their faction leader, which is very, very nice indeed. Batavium belongs to me, and I'm guessing the Julii are going to want it back. But then again, I said that's about Carthage, and the Scipiones never bothered showing up. They're still kind of just massing armies down here. So they may or may not decide they can be bothered to do that. This guy's already moved. I've already taken Batavium. The money is... Actually, I've still got 25,000. Good, I need to figure out where to spend that money. Claire, to you while I figure out how to do that.
Yes, absolutely. We got a little bit behind, so we've got loads to tell you
go
about.
ahead then.
Shout out to Matt, who gave us £10 and said, I love the videos, keep it up. Cult of John for the win. There is no such thing.
Damn straight, Cult of John. Woo.
Shout out to Arthur, who gave us £5 and said, do you think all the many hours invested into Fallout has prepared you for the impending doom of nuclear war? And who do you eat first, Claire or Tabby?
Has to be Tabby just because she's not a human. And I quite like Claire. I don't like to admit it out loud.
That's really sweet. I for sure thought you were going to say, look, like, I can't hurt Tabby.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been on board with that. I like you too.
Oh, we're having a moment live.
Shout out to Matt, who gave us £10. I think it was actually the same person who gave us another £10. And then I finally managed to make a live stream. I finally managed to.
No, they are live streams. You got it right the first time.
Thanks. I finally made.
Oh, she's gonna get it sooner or later. Oh.
You interrupted me the first time. To make a live stream after work.
Hey, she did it!
Will you bloody listen?
Yes, carry on.
I finally managed to make a live stream after watching your videos since the early days of the no-kill runs. You're my favorite YouTuber, and I'm glad I can finally support you live. Lots of love, guys.
Oh, thank you very, very much indeed.
We do love hearing when everybody first started watching.
It is something that, yeah, I do enjoy that. It's fun.
The channel. Okay. Let me just hide this person real quick. Who's promoting their own channel.
Excellent. Are we lucky? Do we not have another mod here today? Are we missing any other mobs?
No, because Thomas is in London for
EGX, people
at
EGX,
he has no computer, and yeah.
So be nice to Claire. She's a little bit busy today. So everyone be nice and behave in the chat.
They are usually very nice and very well behaved in the chat, I have to say.
I'm glad.
Shout out to Not Carl Pilkington, I cosplay as Egg Cartons 2, who gave us £10 and said, I had some good news today with my, I had some good news yesterday even with my US immigration visa. So I have some more Jaffa Cakes monies.
Ooh, very good.
Yeah, very good. And, you know.
Congratulations on that, I assume.
Stuff is always annoying, so... Good for you. And also boops for the chat and hugs all round. Have a super day.
Oh, lovely.
That
is very nice. Thank you.
The chat is always very lovely. Oh. Chat. Don't troll the newbies, okay? Anyway, I shall leave it at that. Joseph gave us $20 and said, greetings from Northern California. Here are funds for a chaise longue for Claire. John, have you ever played Homeworld or Homeworld Cataclysm?
No, I've heard good things, but I've not played them myself. I know relatively little aside from the absolute basics. So, it's not something that's really kind of high up my list right now. But that's not to say it might not be at some point in the future.
Yeah, shout out to Justin who gave us $5 and said Oculus Rift, John. I'm not sure if you misspoke earlier.
Yeah, Oculus Rift with the wristy things. You know the little handheld special controllers that the Oculus has are actually pretty good. Those are nice. I like them. They're a cool little control system. So yes, I probably did, but I was probably sort of kind of vaguely blurring together several actual concepts that do exist for the Oculus.
Okay, Tom in chat asked a question that I very much would like an answer to myself. Which is, John, when will you ever finish your Park in Parkitect?
Parks actually started recently, like, had some fun stuff attached to it. Like, it's had, like, some new lighting mods added and all sorts of stuff. So, odds are definitely better than they were at this moment in time, because I'd like to go, I probably will at some point in the not too distant future, go back in to have a little look-see at what's been done and what's changed and what hasn't. Because I understand there's now a lot more content. Because previously, I was kind of restricted by literally how much I could actually, like, you know, access in terms of, how much mod support there was. So now that's kind of changed a bit, so we can have, you know, we can have a bit more, we can have a fair bit more going on, which is kind of cool. So I would say, you know, odds are looking better and better as time goes by here. So watch this space. I would not be surprised to see it come back in the not too distant future.
And also shout out to Hansan, who gave us 101 Swedish krona. Yes, I think that's... Yeah, yes, that is definitely what that is. Sorry, Swedish crowns. And said, hi, John, Claire, and Tabby. I'm going to Crete in a month. Ooh, that sounds nice. Any important Hellenic sites I should make sure to visit?
Just Knossos. Like, there's a few bits dotted around, but Knossos, which is the most well-known, is definitely the most impressive as well. Definitely.
Yeah, and he says, besides, besides the obvious searching for any eventual descendants of Julianus Vatinius.
Well, of course.
Obviously.
And we've got a lot of movement by the Scipiones. They're trying to move their forces around. And here comes the first siege from the Julii, understandably. So we've got plenty of stuff going on here, but luckily what I was hoping for is happening, which is basically the Romans are throwing all their fleets against all the fleets we brought up. The Gauls are coming for a chat. The Gauls would like to ally with us. I'm not sure we've got any other friends, to be honest. Yeah, go on then. Yay!
Oh, you're friends with France.
I am friends with France. We have friends again. We're not at war with literally everyone. We have a friend. Also, Polysium has not actually... Wait, what's the state of Polysium? Oh, it's fallen to the Thracians, but the Dacians are counterattacking. And they have not managed to push through. So we've got ourselves... Yeah, Captain Secundus is actually moving in. He's actually got... Ooh. This is where you are hiding the good stuff, is it? They've brought onagers together with a good amount of troops up there. That's going to be an interesting hold. So they're coming sooner or later, and I've not got much in the way of reinforcements, but I did, you know, specifically bring a very large amount of troops here. I should hopefully have enough troops to survive all of that. And we've also got, oh, lots of good stuff coming up here in terms of towns growing. That's a little bit on the expensive side. Yes, I know Julii want Batavian back. On the plus, at least they're actually acting like, you know, they're making a bit more sense than bloody the Scipiones, who are just refusing to try and take back Carthage for whatever reason. But that's fine. We're kind of just buried in there. One more turn, we actually get the awesome Temple of Dionysus, which will hopefully help with that a little bit. And yeah, Croton also has army barracks. Probably should get a blacksmith going on there, just so we've actually got the ability to produce and repair, specifically, you can produce and repair the chariots on the Italian mainland. Build a watchtower there. Let's see if we can draw the attention of some Romans. I'm just going to go and stand in their territory and just kind of, you know, look at them a bit. Let's just see if that's going to maybe draw over one of them. Because if I can just basically pull over one of the armies, one-on-one, this army can have that army. That I'm pretty confident of. So if I can just basically pull their two armies over here, that'll be a good starting point. And if they don't take the bait, well, in theory, we could just put Rome under siege and wait for them to counterattack. But I suspect they might decide they're interested in this. Just in case it goes a bit wrong, however, I'm just going to move a little bit further forward. So, yeah, I've actually got a bit more space to back out of as well. That should work. Batavium I'll leave. I'm not going to sally... Actually, should I sally? Actually, you know what? I'm going to fake sally purely to see what the army is. So, we're looking at 10 bajillion Hastati, couple of onagers, some dogs. Interesting. Manageable. Manageable. I think we can handle that. In fact, I think that's just about okay. Because once they get inside the city, they're going to struggle to penetrate the city streets with Hastati. So I think we can hold against that. You get back in there. Actually, didn't I just confirm? Oh no, apparently there is actually a thing in there. That's fine. So we can already. So now we can just double pump chariots if that's what we want to do. Ignore Capua. They're relatively well dug in. I'd rather try and get something going on in and around Rome. And my fleet can also just start. Yeah, just chasing off these bastards. Get over here. I'm pretty sure there's an army inside that one actually. There's an army somewhere, isn't it this one? Yeah, there's an army. Right. Go. Go. Defeat you. These just picking up experience. Alright, here we are. This is the one. So, clear victory. Where are you going? This guy's naffing off down over here. Sadly, I've got no more fleets to pursue over there. I'm going to lose that fight. I can take out this guy with this force that's basically going around. And we've even managed to sink him too. Right. Prepare to follow these bastards down. Ooh, even Arcani. Nice. Follow these guys. Prepare to attack them next turn so we know where they are. This fleet should be able to hopefully win a victory. Yep, just chase these guys off. Keep going. We'll lose that one, but that's fine. We've still got some good starting points going on here. We've got a tiny army there. There's a little force here. I'm pretty sure you've already been beaten, so we should be able to beat you. And then this force just moves up here. And if it can't quite attack these Julii fleets, but these guys are damaged. We're just starting to wear down the Roman fleets here. This force and this force together should be more than capable of wrapping up, or rather at least badly weakening and winning any individual fight they're involved with. That's actually an okay force round here, but we should be okay for the time being. You get to here, and then gets to here. That fleet manages to make it aboard. Yeah, I'm sure, and this force is still inside the safety of harbour. So we've got more reinforcements coming in, including onagers. So we can retrain those onagers, and those archers need retraining, so we need to find someone with an archery range, which I'm pretty sure we don't have here, but we do absolutely have in Crotorn. So this army needs to head down to Crotorn for some retraining. Other than that, however, that's actually looking okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay, well, I just look to spend some money. Claire, back to you.
Yeah, shout out to Waffle, who gave us £2 and said, I'm sending you some months because you're a lovely YouTuber.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. That's very kind.
Yeah, and Peter gave us another £2 and said, John, how much money to play Crusader Kings 2 and knock up your sister?
I would guess, you know, if you'd asked me, I would have guessed that was allowed in Crusader Kings 2, because it seems like Crusader Kings 2 bloody anything goes. So, I'm honestly not surprised. Honestly, Crusader Kings 2 is going to happen in the not too distant future, I would imagine, regardless. So, I wouldn't bother putting money towards that. I'd just wait, to be honest. That's probably easier.
Yeah, and speaking as someone who... Well, we played a board game last night based on Jane Austen called Marrying Mr. Darcy, and you...
In which no one married Mr. Darcy, so we all lost,
yeah,
really.
Yeah, it was a bit... It was unfortunate like that, but you played as Georgiana Darcy, and you complained about not being able to try to marry Mr. Darcy, who's your brother.
The game is called Marrying Mr. Darcy. I see no reason why Georgiana would not be allowed to marry Mr. Darcy, therefore.
Anyway, I'm sure you'll be... fine knocking up your sister in Crusader Kings 2 if that's something that you can do.
Absolutely. In fact, I would consider it a personal goal.
Sure thing. Okay, well that's disturbing. Shout out to Trekker Director who gave us 10 Brazilian reals. And I think they had a Greece Macedonia question earlier. So then I was saying, okay, John, here's a softer question then. I don't think it's a softer question. Every country has a national anthem that talks about its past glories. What do you think about your country's national anthem being basically a love letter to the monarch?
I'm not thrilled about it, to be honest. I mean, you know, the monarch's an anachronism that doesn't really have much more than a small ceremonial role in Britain today and a function as a source of tourism. So I do feel like it's out of date.
Also, they don't pay any taxes and they should kind of pay taxes.
Yeah. I mean, I am not a staunch anti-monarchist like Claire, as you can tell, is.
Look, I pay taxes and I don't get to vote, and they don't pay taxes, so I'd like them to pay taxes.
I'm not a staunch anti-monarchist because I consider on a balance of probabilities they probably pay for themselves in tourism revenues and soft power that Britain projects around the world. But I would prefer it if our national anthem were something, you know, a bit more than just let's hope the monarch survives a bit. I could do with so. I feel like that's not desperately inspiring, and I don't think it's particularly, you know, it's not unifying. I think it's not something for everyone. Like, some people may be monarchists, but plenty of people, like, either don't care or aren't. So I feel like a national anthem has a responsibility to be something that the vast majority or everyone in the country can get behind. And it feels like that's not a thing you can do with God Save the Queen.
You know, at least your anthem doesn't have a line about watering our furrows with the impure blood of foreigners.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, we have a pretty good tune, but we have pretty shitty lyrics. So, anyway, shout out to Alexander, who gave us £5 and said, "Hi, John and Claire. Thank you for being great entertainment as I drown in boring GCSE marking. Can I please ask when you might be doing Fallout 4 YOLO?"
Not right this second. I do have something else planned for at the end of Frost, which I think is like coming up in the not too distant future. I feel like I'm making some good story progress relatively quickly now. So I feel like that's going to be a few months away. But I have something else in mind. I have something else in mind that's not Fallout 4, You Only Live Once. But I think I've got a few things kind of lined up that might be a bit shorter that I think people will really, really love. Because, like, I don't like following one really, like, tense series with another. I like varying up the tone. So, like, you know, Fallout 4 Frost has been very tense and very nerve-wracking at various points. So I'd like to do something a bit more kind of light, as like a palate cleanser before we get to Fallout 4 You Only Live Once. Anyway, we've got to talk about the actual game. Because something very important has just happened, which is the Romans have indeed taken the bait, as I was hoping they would. One of the armies has advanced to meet me. So, Gaius Maxentius, together, actually, with his faction heir, who is presumably not getting involved just because he's not as good at actually commanding, is actually choosing to move forward to attack us. They are bringing forward with them, yeah, some artillery, which I do not have with me, and other than that, and they've got some skirmishes and some light stuff. This is probably not the best. All I need to do really is snipe them off. But never underestimate the actual forces of Rome, never underestimate artillery, and never underestimate heavy cavalry when it's not dead. Would you mind if you grab me some more water, by the way? I'm out of water. I'm very thirsty.
For sure.
Thank you. While I just quickly lay out my troops and you know, come up with something to talk about. Which was the best of the knockoff Power Rangers series, do you think, by the way? Like, Claire and I were discussing this the other day. Like, of the main ones, the main four I could think of. VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, that was real, look it up, and Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, where cyber was spelled with an S. Because they were all terrible. But which was the best and worst of those terrible, terrible shows? Because on balance, probably Big Bad Beetleborgs was the best. I think even though you'd think Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills would be the worst, I think Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was actually worse because the acting in it was appalling. And because Tim Curry was just the villain, which was just, and that's just someone actually put effort into this. Someone thought it was good. Someone actually spent money on this thing. Genuinely. They thought it was actually worth spending money on. Because they actually bothered to pay for Tim. Or maybe Tim Curry thought it was funny and just went with it. Oh, I've got fresh water. Claire brought me water. I'm very thirsty. Thank you, Claire.
Here you go.
Need to drink water to soak up all the alcohol and so forth.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty thirsty. That's much better. Oh, lovely. The chat, by the way, is now going to be full of discussions about Big Bad Beetleborgs, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, and all the rest of it, because that's my fault.
Yeah, definitely.
You're welcome, by the way.
That's much better than some other stuff you've done before.
Acceptable.
In terms of addressing the chat and making my life complicated.
Duly noted.
Anyway, I have a few more questions about potential, you know, Fallout series and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Divine on Discord gave us £5 and said, hey, just a question. Fallout 3 kill everything with You Only Live Once rules. That video list was my fave. Let's combine them both.
I don't like I try not to revisit old stuff once it's done because it ends up it's inevitably disappointing. Whenever you revisit something old that's already been done, I don't think it can help but end up being disappointing afterwards. So it's... I don't know. I feel like revisiting an old series for the most part is never going to be a good idea. Even if it sometimes tempts me. Most days I look at it and think, no, that's not a good idea.
And Megaraptor gave us $5 and said, oh, also, you only live once, a tale of two wastelands. Is that possible?
I at some point might just give like a Tale of Two Wastelands a look, but I might have to come up with a new little kind of reason to officially kind of give it a look. Like, I would come up with actual, like, a specific reason to give it a look. But I don't think it would be like that. I don't think it would be like a full, really long, tense series. It would just be like a little fun series to look at what generally regarded as a well put together mod. Anyway, we need to get to the battle here. Things are starting to heat up. So I've got a slight bit of high ground. Not a huge amount of high ground, but some. The artillery looks like it's already at the back and drawing up. I need to figure out how I'm going to get to this artillery. Because the problem is, their line is very wide right now. I should probably have drawn up wider, but then I have so much cavalry, it's hard for me to do that. Probably the best thing for me to do is just send this Greek cavalry off and just try and track it down. There's an armoured general on that side of the line, which probably means that's where my chariot should be, actually. My chariot should be over there. Let's see what we can do here. If he's going to try and chase that, that's fine. He'll never actually make it there in time. The chariots need to get over here. See what's going on. You need to draw up into a bit more of a... Okay, this is fine. This is fine. If they want to do that, you hit them. The chariots are coming in. These guys are coming in over here. We got chariots coming in over here. We got elephants coming in over here. We've got these guys coming in. You just keep running. You just keep running. And you get over here and hit these guys, please. Get behind them. Yep, there we go. He's broken. Good. That's just... Oh, no, that's Triarii. I don't want to do that. Right, you get over here. Let's just get some cavalry moving around the side. I'm going to assume this line's going to hold by itself. Yeah, the other general is also hitting our front line. He's been lured in by the actual... by all of this. That's Roman archers. That works for me. You guys get out of here. Just stay away from the Triarii. These archers are coming in. I haven't seen any actual sign of fire yet from the actual, the onagers, the heavy onagers at the rear, or the ballistas. But normally they prefer flaming shot. What's going on down this side of the fight, by the way? Nothing yet has started. Some archers have been chased off in this direction. You guys, okay, they're at 92. They're Triarii, which concerns me, but screw it. Archers, just focus on them. You head over here as well. We got some Velites. In fact, you know what? You go for these Velites. Chase them off so they can't keep firing. Over on this side, the problem is, yeah, they've not got that much. Oh, in come the cataphracts. And the cataphracts are just going to handle this thing. And then we're also just going to get around the back of you. 22 wavering. 21 still wavering. Just surround him. He'll break momentarily because he's totally surrounded. Come on, finish him off, finish him off, finish him off, finish him off. There he goes. Now he's going to be totally wiped out. Most of these forces are now just trying to flee. That is just some militia lads that are just going crazy. That is a couple of berserk chariots, but they already did their job, quite frankly. You head over here at this point. Hit these Principes in the flank. Oh, in come the rocks. Yeah, I saw that. I think actually that thing's trying to target us. You guys get out of there. Let the cataphracts handle this. The cataphracts can handle some actual Principes, I would imagine, to just charge straight into them, do some good work. They crunch there. You guys get over to those ballistas, and the ballistas and the onagers look right next to each other. That's not the worst thing in the world. The front line is probably taking care of itself. Yep, the one chariot is just naffing off. The front line is safe and secure for the time being. There's a handful of Velites, but the archers should be able to pick them off. If you just pick off that general, that'll be great. You hit these heavy onagers. They are trying to... Okay, one thing's broken over there. That's ballistas. Next up, heavy onagers. They're shaken for the time being. The cataphracts are doing a good job cutting through the Roman armored general. He's making a run for it right now. In fact, actually, probably I think you should... Oh, no, never mind. He's actually stopped. I was worried we weren't going to be able to pin him down. Is that the guy we've already killed? No, that's not the guy we've already killed, because there's Capey McCaperson over there. Down he goes. Cataphracts just chop through everything. And let's just see if the cataphracts can also just charge directly into the front of these here Principes. Do a good bit of work there. They're reloading, which mildly unnerves me, because, yeah, you never want to actually get hit straight in the face by... No! Looks like, well, something broke anyway. Focus on these guys. They're wavering because there's broken stuff all around them, and they break immediately afterwards. Right. We've taken out their artillery, which is good, because this isn't going to be the final victory against Rome, of course. This is just the first strike. And actually, once this is done, I need to actually keep as much alive as I can, because there's a very real possibility. Once this is done, the second army, which is the tougher one, will immediately come and fight me. And if they decide to do the same thing on the same battlefield, I'm not going to have high ground because there's no good high ground around here. So I need to, yeah, try and keep as much alive as I can in a perfect world. You guys, get over here and hit these bastards. You guys, get over here and hit these bastards. That breaks. These guys are shaken. In come the cataphracts in the rear. And if we're very lucky, even though these are Triarii, I should probably just get these guys out of there, to be honest. Shaken, wavering. Hit him in the back, hit him in the back, hit him in the back, hit him in the back. Come on, hurry, 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 hurry. I need something to be... And there we go. They break. Good. I'd like to take the Triarii out because I've got a fair bit of good cavalry strength. Between the cataphracts and the elephants, I'm in good shape right now. Other troops are just... These archers are just pursuing. Which is beautiful. And with the Triarii done, the Romans have been chased off the field. And... our losses have been relatively minor. Let's see how good we actually managed to pull that off there. Yeah, okay. So, we've only lost about 500 men. They've been reduced to, broadly, 200 survivors, including both of the generals dead. Now, there's a chance the next army will come straight up. No, they've decided against. Now, will the Julii push in and try and attack Patavium with their onagers? Not just yet. Are the Parthians wanting peace? No, I think I'm still at war with Parthia. The Scythians are obviously just coming around and attacking, because why wouldn't they? And the Thracians are just splitting up like crazy. Okay. What's the state of play here? What's the state of play? Is this army now strong enough to potentially try and push straight at Rome and let me, basically try and encourage their army to come and attack me out in the field? There are Julii here. Oh, he's just fleeing north. That's fine. You, by the way, you're training those rams. Right. You're training those rams. That's absolutely fine. We've got more forces coming in here. Bear in mind, though, yeah, we do actually have to send the archers south. All of these archers need retraining. So they can just go down there. You get down over here. That's absolutely fine. We've got fresh onagers coming in too. This guy can just head a little bit further in this direction. And the archers can rejoin him next turn. Nice and freshened up. The fleets are ready to go as well. Let's just start mopping up some Romans. Claire, over to you while I'm doing that.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Thomas Richter, who gave us 4 Brazilian reais. And says, Claire Tafracts are the best, woot woot. But also, Claire, it's Brazilian reais.
Reais?
Reais.
Ah.
R-E-A-I-S, not reals. So I'm very sorry. I'm sure I googled it the first time that the little contraction that shows up for me came up, and then I said it from memory and I said it wrong, and I'm also probably pronouncing the word really wrong because I've never learned any kind of Portuguese, so apologies for that. I will try to bear that in mind and try to remember that in future. And yeah, also shout out to Send Me a Badger, who gave us $5 and asked if you've had a chance to do anything with the Vive Pro yet, and if so...
Hasn't arrived. I literally just got confirmation it's being shipped today, so it should hopefully be arriving on Monday.
And if so, do you think the cost increase is worth it for what you get?
I will be able to give you an update next week's stream. I cannot for the time being, because I've been holding off playing Skyrim VR, which is why it hasn't been on the channel yet, until the new Vive Pro arrives, because I want to talk about the new Vive Pro kind of at the same time. Because I feel like that will be a good test for it, because it's a big, visually busy game, where it will be nice to kind of look at the new graphical fidelity the high resolution gives you, because I think that's the sort of game where it will actually make a difference. So that's kind of why I've been holding off for that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll be able to give you an update on that down the line.
Yeah, and also shout out to Peter, who gave us £2 and is hopefully, presumably talking about Crusader Kings 2 again, when he says, I would be happy if you knocked up your mother.
It may well be possible. I don't know.
Guys, people in the chat, folks, friends, if you ever send us a message, like either super chat or just messaging me or messaging, each other, but specifically if it's me or a super chat and something you want me to, like, read out to John, you need to, like, be specific and be a bit, like, clear, because if you're sending me a message like this, thankfully I was able to go back and verify that this was the same person who asked about Crusader Kings 2, because otherwise you will, like, get kicked and that will get hidden and not read out, because sometimes people are really weird, so I can't assume that you're not being really weird.
Yeah.
And, I very much want to be able to talk about, like, what games allow you to knock up your sister or your mom or whatever, because that's fun, right? But
it's interesting view into the French mindset there.
Oh, sod off. I am not a Luke Leia shipper. So I'm not sure you can throw stones here.
Hey, Lucas said that he fully planned out all the plot twists ahead of it.
Obviously he's lying.
I don't know.
Anyway, please let me know why you're being weird. If you're being weird, like, for a specific reason, that makes sense. For anyway. Peter Whiteman says he ran out of character. Gave us another £2. Thank you very much for that. And says, I ran out of character. Also, please make House Tabby in Crusader Kings 2.
Oh, House Tabby. Best house.
Pretty good house.
Pretty damn good house.
It's the house of, like, staying indoors and not talking to anyone.
Seems like a good... seems good to me.
Anyway, shout out to Benjamin Rich, who gave us $5 and said, Go Nerd Rangers!
Yay.
Sick guitar solo.
Damn straight.
Mighty Morphic Nerd Rangers, murdering so you don't have to. Continuing.
Mighty Morphic.
Mighty Morphing, I think.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
Yes, and continuing sick guitar solo. So there you go. That's we have a bit of a theme song there. Yes, and Megaraptor clarified in chat that about the Tale of Two Wasteland YOLO. He was asking more if you think it's possible in general. So I think I'm the one.
Well, I've played, like, in some ways it's easier because, like, if you play each game individually, you have to start over, like, with a fresh character that's not got any of the perks that makes him super powerful. But if you kind of have the option to carry one character over, arguably it's easier to do. So I wouldn't see a reason why not, really, I would say. So, hang on, can I just merge these? Yeah, I can just merge these. Get some more spearmen in. This army is the tough one. This is the tougher army. What I'm planning now is probably not a good idea. But I feel like, because of the hill here, might just be able to pull that off. So, I'm gonna give that a go. And we're gonna see how well that works out for me. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna work. There's just a mess of fleets out here right now. This, by the way, is, there's a massive full stack army right here. Massive full stack army right there that I kind of want to die. So we'll have to see about how well we can kill that bastard.
I have a few people in chat asking me things like whether YouTube is going to steal monetization if I don't do the PC police and whatever. And, I mean, I don't know, guess reacting to my comments as, like, I'm trying to, I don't know, smother language or whatever. It's just that, guys, honestly, sometimes people just say gross stuff to us and we have to, delete it and mod it and whatever. And I would hate to, delete someone's comment that didn't need to be deleted or time someone out that didn't need to be timed out. Like, I'm just literally trying to make sure that I don't, I do have to jump on things that looks weird because sometimes, like, stuff that comes up is just really bad.
There are, I'm sure you can appreciate, there's a lot of odd people online, as I'm sure you're all very well aware. Just because something has to be removed doesn't mean it didn't need to be removed. There's a lot of weird things online that are very well justified. in just being removed because of various reasons.
Anyway, Thomas Richter gave us 10 Brazilian reais, which he said I pronounced correctly.
Hey, we got it right.
And says, could John finish the stream by screaming, "The day is ours!
The day is ours!" I've added additional voice cracks to make it even better.
Yeah.
I love voice crack narrator, man. I wonder how that happened. Like, did they not realise when they were recording that there was the weird voice crack in it? And like, after they realised this, thought, should we re-record that? Ah, it'll be fine. No one's going to play Rogue Total War. No one will still be playing this decades into the future and like constantly laughing at it every single time. It's all very odd indeed.
Anyway, Ian gave us $10 and said, "Hey John, what football team do you support, or are you one of the 10 people in the UK who doesn't enjoy soccer? Brackets football. Yes, I said soccer. I'm American. Fight me."
I don't really follow football. Some of my family's from Manchester, so my dad supports Manchester United, and he's actually from Manchester. He's from the red side of Manchester, so he didn't just like, you know, start supporting them like later when they were doing well or whatever. He'd been supporting them all his life. So I grew up in a Manchester United supporting household, but I was never into the game myself much.
Sorry, we have another update from Peter, who gave us £3 and says, "John, could you do it with a horse in Crusader Kings 2? I mean, we don't know what's possible.
I don't know if we're kind of getting into a Dr. Seuss parody, but with incest and bestiality.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Could you do it with your mother? Could you do it with your brother? I assume that's where they got. Maybe it's all in the game. I don't know. Just find a good place to spy. Find a good place to stand where you can see. Okay, fine. Or actually, no, that was a good place to stand because there's a lot of Romans coming. As it turns. Oh, look at Claire! Look at this. We've discovered the pain train has arrived. The Julii have got one full stack besieging Batavium right now that's about to attack. They then have a near full stack, a near full stack, a full stack, and then 2 more full stacks just arriving from the rest of the Empire, just heading at Batavium. The Julii pain train has very much officially arrived. We have defeated 1 Roman army, and we're almost ready to head to Rome. How many settlements do we actually have right now, by the way? We've got 45 regions under our control. When Rome falls, that becomes 46. So...
There's a couple of people who joined just as you were talking about doing it with your mother and your brother and a horse or whatever that are really confused.
Well, this is your fairness. The people who are here at the beginning are probably more confused. Probably way, way, way more confused, in fact. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think we're going to wrap things up. We're going to start kind of moving towards wrapping it up now. Because it is 9:20. We've got some Skyrim to get out tonight, of course. And we're actually quite tired and drunk, because we were up late with friends last night and then we were hanging out with them today. So as it's getting a little bit on the late side, I think we're going to wrap things up because next week is probably back to Civ, unless I change my mind. But the next time we get to Rome, we've got some, we might actually have the final part. It could theoretically be the finale of Rome next time. We might look to wrap up Rome because if I can get this force to storm Capua, that's a 47, with Rome acting as the 46th. Then I just need to actually find 3 more territories to capture. Now, capturing 3 territories across either Africa or Sicily should not be the most difficult thing in the world. So I think we could potentially look to be wrapping things up thanks to this lovely big army that I could actually redirect over to Sicily and have this army just smash the hell out of Sicily. But before we get to that, we've got some interesting fights, which is we've got a damaged and already not exactly the best tech army I've got hanging out here at Rome, and the best army that Rome has got is going to try and stop me. However, I do have some high ground I might be able to fall back to here, so I might be able to actually hold them on the high ground. Meanwhile, all I need to do really is hold Batavium against the Julii, because this is going to keep the Julii out of interfering in southern Italy long enough for me to secure enough of the world to have won the long victory. It's So, that is going to be interesting. Surviving so many Julii armies, that's amazing. Claire, get us caught up if there's anything else to say.
Megaraptor gave us $2 and said, press F for Sir Roderick's sleep.
Oh, what time is it in Australia right now? Oh, what time is it in Australia right now, Claire? It must be really...
I don't know, it must be super early.
Actually, it probably isn't as bad. It must be like... We're now getting into like normal morning.
Bed.
Yeah, if they didn't go to bed, you should have gone to bed first and got up for this. I'd say that's the way to do it.
Anyway,
Oh dear. Oh yeah, we've also just a random force here that I can deal with too, but that's fine. That's not so much of a thing. Yes, Claire!
Shout out to Trepta, who gave us $5 and said, space, you say, John? Vive Pro, even? Scale of 1 to 10, likelihood you'll play Elite Dangerous VR.
I totally will at some point, because it sounds like really in-depth and head-crushingly deep, but there's a good chance that what I'll end up doing is it'll just be like a one-off of me trying to get to grips with it, because... like, just from watching, like, Up Is Not Jump's video on it, like, oh my goodness, it looks so ridiculously complicated.
They also say, also, can I have your old Vive system? Hi, Claire.
No, because all you'd get would be the headset. You wouldn't get the controllers or the base stations, because the controllers of the base station you keep, and the Vive Pro's just a new headset. And the problem is, buying 2 controllers and 2 base stations and all the cables you'd need is the same price as buying a new Vive set, because you get they sell the full set at a slight loss compared to buying the individual components. So literally, it would cost you the same amount of money to actually, if I gave you the headset to get all the other bits you need, as it is to buy your own. So, it's not even a good idea.
Yeah, we kind of looked into this because when we first saw the Vive Pro, it was just a headset coming in. We thought maybe we can like sell the old one.
But we actually can't, because it was bought by the business, so you're not allowed to sell. You're not allowed to sell the business. If business has to hold on to something it bought because anyway, yes, we can't do that. So that's fine. There is actual legality, yes. So we couldn't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and also Divine on Discord gave us £2 and said, John is the spawn of Manchester United supporters. Ew. That's not very nice.
In all fairness, football is like that. Football is very tribal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Football is not very nice then.
Well, now you've gone and done it.
I remember some of the jokes you made in some of the more political streams, and so I'm not going to,
It could be worse. I could be a Millwall fan. Ugh. Millwall, you're so rubbish and all your girlfriends are unfulfilled and unsatisfied.
What?
It was a joke in black books.
Okay.
No, it was unsatisfied and alienated, and all your girlfriends are unsatisfied and alienated.
Great. And finally, shout out to Thomas Richter, who gave us 2 Brazilian reais and said, "Who is Jen? Who is Jen?"
Jen's a friend of ours. Jen's a friend of ours, and I've just decided to mess with everyone by just basically having her do the announcement at the beginning of the stream and then bundling her out the door. She's gone now.
Jen's my BFF.
Yeah. Jen's a close friend of both of us from many, many years ago. You've known her longer than you knew me, right? Just?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, I don't know if that's true for me. I can't remember who I would have met first out of the 2 of you.
Yeah, but it would have been only by 10 minutes.
It would have been like
together at the
exactly, because we met at the same event. So
yeah.
I would have. I honestly don't know which of the 2 of you I met first, but I would have met you the same day. And I've known you
sat next to each other, so
probably you therefore, yeah, but like only by a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
So there we go.
She's a
very old friend of ours. We've known her for nearly a decade.
Anyway, shout out to Peter, who gave us another £3 to talk about Crusader Kings 2, and said, lunatics like horses in Crusader Kings 2. By the way, Sir Roderick von Thunderbottom...
Oh, you got your favourite name wrong there.
No, that's because it's not on screen. Sorry, Sir Roderick Quincy von Thunderbottom, the magnificent High King of Australia, just wrote in earlier to say that in Crusader Kings 2, there's this like very difficult, convoluted, really weird way that you can take to make your line of kings be actual horses. So that's what the horse fucking is about.
Yeah, I was asking about this recently on Twitter because, like I was saying, because there's a big Paradox is doing a Crusader Kings 2 sale, So what I decided to do was I like asked people what the best DLC was that like the DLC people consider to be like, you know, that massively improves the game rather than just being like, you know, adding a bit of flavour or being a nice to have or adding additional difficulty for experienced players. So like on base that, like, you know, I bought Way of Life, Reaper's Due to add plagues into the game. Some of it I already had because whenever I originally bought Crusader Kings 2 it must have come with a bunch of DLC because like the Roman DLC and Age of Charlemagne and Old Gods I already just had. So I must have just got that as a package at some point. So I picked up a few more bits of DLC. The only one that people were really unsure about was Conclave, because some people were saying, oh yeah, Conclave just really improves the game, and other people were saying, Conclave just makes the game more complicated. A first-time player shouldn't have Conclave on. So I'll make my decision close to the time as to whether or not to have Conclave set on. But like, there'll be a bunch of like little DLCs, plus like Way of Life and a few other things that will be on. Sunset Invasion will not be on, after people told me what that actually was. So we will not be having that on. That is not for me. But yeah, we will see. That will happen when it happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Anything else from you?
Yeah, hi, Megaraptor. Oh, they just keep coming and just keep.
Don't I see that? Don't starve together, says Megaraptor. Yeah,
don't starve together.
I can see that.
Someday.
I can see don't starve. Maybe not a live stream because I need Claire in the chat. Because otherwise you guys aren't going to be represented. Like, if Claire's not in the chat, then who's telling me what's going on in the chat? So,
I would like a Don't Starve live stream. I'm not sure we can do Don't Starve together.
I think we could do Don't Starve together, or we could do a Don't Starve live stream. One of those, both of those things are very viable. I don't think both of them at the same time.
Yeah. And also Peter Weitzman also gave us another £2 and said the horse name is Glitterhoof in Crusader Kings 2. I don't know if this is a joke or if this is real, but that's just...
Glitterhoof, marvellous.
And apparently you can spawn Glitterhoof multiple times, says Hoddeloff. So there you go.
Makes perfect sense to me.
I mean, I don't... Oh, I was so annoyed with you for that flipping Don't Starve video where like you kept doing stupid things like putting your camp next to...
Okay. You try playing games while commentating and also trying to think ahead to come up with what's going to make the best video. Alright, you try doing it.
Well, I had to edit an entire video of bees like buzzing after you.
Yeah.
And I flipping hate bees.
I forgot to warn. I forgot to tell Claire, who's bee phobic, that the video was full of bees. I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention that the video was full of bees, but the video was full of bees. Oh dear, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and that means what I should probably do is we should probably wrap up here. I would say. I think there's one more. Is there?
No.
Was that it? Okay, sorry. I thought I saw one more coming in there.
No.
Right, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap things up there because I'm actually...
Yes.
Up.
That one is from someone different. Shout out to Mr. Facerock who gave us 2 Swiss francs and said regarding Crusader Kings 2, be ready for a lot of people complaining.
Oh, I'm sure.
And shout out to Thomas Fisher who came in last minute with 2 Brazilian reais and said, and that woman was definitely not my mom.
I know, it sounds like in Crusader Kings 2, people can be all sorts of things. My mother, sister, and daughter are all the same people. It's marvellous. Would that be physically possible? Hang on. Could your mother... No, hang on. No, wait, hang on. Your mother... No, your mother and your daughter cannot be the same people. That's impossible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That is impossible.
But your mother and your...
I don't know. Are we allowing for time travel?
I don't think that's in Crusader Kings 2, unless, of course, you install the TARDIS pack, but I wasn't planning to have that on. But your mother and your... Okay.
Oh my god, Megaraptor!
How many different people could be...
Oh my god!
Yes, what? I can't see from there!
It's a red donation. It means Megaraptor donated $100.
Thank you, Megaraptor.
It says 10 more hours.
No more hours.
Oh, and shout out to some other guy, Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, who gave us $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much indeed, but I'm tired. I want to go and sleep now.
Oh, Megaraptor.
Thank you also very, very much indeed. We are not doing 10 more hours, though. I'm sorry. That's not a thing. As much as we love you all, we're not doing 10 more hours. We're going to wrap things up right now. Oh, dear. Oh my dear, I'm very tired right now.
Yeah.
Very tired and we're done. So, next week, we'll do a super... As this has not been the longest one, next week, I think we'll do Civ, and we'll do a really bloody long Civ. We'll start early. So, maybe next week we'll start at like 4 PM, and we'll go through for a really long live stream next week. So, we'll do a super long Civ live stream, because we were just at the end of the Dark Age in Civ, and we've already hit Heroic Age. So, we can begin the Heroic Age and enjoy our Heroic Age, and we'll see what we can do with that. And, yeah, Rome should be returning in 2 weeks, where we will actually wrap things up. Yes.
Hey, shout out to Trackpoint, who gave us €5 and said 5 more minutes, maybe.
And we'll just do,
but
yeah.
I want to go pet Tabby.
Yeah, what about Tabby? You're depriving Tabby of us and us of Tabby, which is a two-way sad thing. Skyrim coming out the channel very, very momentarily indeed. Just the one video tonight because this was so late. It's just going to be the Skyrim. Originally, yeah, I was planning for tonight to be the Fallout 3 video, but it is not ready yet, which is why it's just the one video, because we're late, so it's this stream and it's Skyrim tonight. So Skyrim coming out. Actually, we'll put Skyrim out at 10 PM at the usual time for the main video. And then this series will return as a live stream in a couple of weeks' time, most likely, at which point I think it might be the last one. And then it will probably, actually, I'll have a little break from series, and we'll kind of go into one-offs every other week again. We'll kind of have Civ 6 interspersed with one-offs, because we've kind of been doing 2 series for a little while, and I will prefer to do some actual few more series going on. So, we'll wrap things up there. But in the meantime, I've been John.
I've been Claire.
This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Rome Total War, the live stream. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me.